And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internet, all over mainstream media, social media, and I don't know where to start. First of all, CNN getting caught lying yet again by the young lady. What's her name? Clarissa Shields? Is that her name? Clarissa Shields. Nah, that ain't Clarissa Shields. That's the boxer that want to fight everybody, that want to punch her boyfriend's wife in the face. But we'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, James O'Keefe doing the Lord's work yet again. This time he exposes a spy or an aspiring spy, someone who works with intelligence in this country, getting caught just like Eric Swalwell with Fang Fang, Yum Yum, all that good stuff. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, the drone drama is continuing. The government talking about, oh, we don't know where they come from, but don't worry about it. It's totally fine. We don't know who they belong to, but don't worry about it. It's totally fine. You got 10,000 magic school buses up in the sky. No Miss Frizzle anywhere in sight, but they say, don't worry about it. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, we have a well-known flat earther from the YouTube page, Jeranism, visiting Antarctica, and his theory of flat earth didn't really hold up too well. We'll talk about all those things and more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And thank y'all again for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing so far, if you enjoy the content in general, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right. Clarissa Ward, that's her name, Clarissa Ward. Shout out to you sometimes, friendly. Yeah, I got her confused with Clarissa Shields. Yeah, the boxer. It's this guy, it's this rapper getting involved with some kind of controversy with his wife or ex-wife or whatever. And his new girlfriend is a boxer. This guy loves women that like to punch other women in the face. So his ex-wife or current wife or whatever went to prison for shooting her friend in the stomach. Like, she was in prison for like 6-7 years. And he stayed with her the whole time, all this and that. But anyway, she comes home, they're still together, but now there's some trouble. And his new girlfriend is a professional boxer, Clarissa Shields. So this guy loves some strong women. Okay. Hey, if you're a woman and you like to beat up other women, go to that guy. He's got a nice warm home for you. But anyway, I digress. We got a lot to get into tonight. We got quite a few videos that I have not shown. We got some subject matter we got to cover. We got a whole lot of different things going on. And shout out to you guys. Paige says, I saw you on Ashley last night, ABL. Shout out to Ashley. Ashley Dalton. Great page, great content curator. For you guys who don't know who that is, she does like relationship stuff, and her page, I guess, mostly is to help women level themselves up, not in the sprinkle kind of way. Shout out to her. Shout out to Syria 7. She's been around for a long time, but her whole page is trying to help people get themselves together. And I went on the show last night to just offer my 2 cents about how to eat well. You know, we got a lot of big backs. We got a big back epidemic in this country. I'm just trying to say, hey, here's what you eat. I showed my salmon I had, my avocado, my tomatoes, all of that, my rice. I showed what I eat to keep myself in shape. 40 years old, no big back, no beer belly. Yeah, if you see me, listen. If you see me walking down the street, walking in the airport, and I got a big Gucci Man 2006 Santa Claus belly, okay, I got one of these old NFL football player, offensive lineman who didn't lose no weight after he played football. One of them bellies, like I've been drinking a 12-pack of beer every night. Please call the cops because something is wrong. Okay, something is wrong if you see that going on. But yeah, shout out to Ashley and shout out to you guys who watched that. The Uncle ABL is most certainly. Uncle ABL never go nowhere. Uncle ABL just got to put out more videos on that channel, but I'm still doing that work. Self-improvement is a must, especially in a place where obesity is epidemic. Remember, with the so-called coronavirus, which in my humble opinion, YouTube censors and the snitches out there, in my humble opinion, COVID-19 ain't nothing but a different kind of flu. It's the same thing. Get your flu shot, get your COVID shot. Saying I don't see the difference. But anyway, what they said back then was you have a higher risk of this virus doing you damage if you're 1,000 years old, Joe Biden age, and or if you have other comorbidities like being a big back, being obese. If you weigh 800 pounds, you may have a problem with this particular virus. So I implore everybody to just take care of yourself. You don't got to be looking like the best, most beautiful supermodel, because supermodels and magazine people, they go through a lot to keep their weight. They go through a lot. It's an everyday thing. They're hungry all the time. They're hangry. I'm not saying do all that. What I am saying is I don't want to see my guys out here 35 years old, hunched over with a big beer belly, looking like Barney Rubble from The Simpsons. I don't want to see you guys looking like Barney Rubble. I want you guys to not be hunched over and be able to be mobile when you lay your years. That's all I want you to do. Yeah. Hey, Lizzo. Even the Lizzo is not embracing the big back culture anymore. Now she a little chubby. At first she was big, grande, muy grande. Now, it's a little bit less. So shout out to her. All right, we got a whole lot going on. I ain't going to talk about the big backs too much tonight, but we got a whole lot going on. A lot of videos, a lot of topics, a lot of things that's going on at the moment. But shout out to you guys for being here. As I always say, you guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. And if you like what you're hearing so far, I know what to do. Please give the video a thumbs up. Also, we have the sponsors. Of course, you guys are the first sponsor, but also patriotpost.us, your best source of news and information anywhere on these interwebs. Their link will be in the box, or just go to patriotpost.us in your browser. Tell them that ABL sent you. Also, go to my merch website, ablmerch.com. That is ablmerch.com. We got the hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more right there on the website. Again, ablmerch.com, ablmerch.com. And thank you, Sheree. Link right there at Patriot Post. Links are also going to be in the box below me for everything that you need. Go to my regular webpage, anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN. That's right, Leslie. I'm learning that Spanish. I got a little teeny bit of Spanish. If I can read something, I can read kind of what it means. But when y'all be at the family functions, all of that, I don't know what's going on. I'm like, can you slow it down a little bit? Can you give me the 0.25 speed on YouTube? Can I get that in real life when you're talking Spanish? When you're talking that, I don't know what's going on. But anyway, go to the regular website, anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Go to the front page of the website. And for each video that I produce, I also write an article. And in the article, you'll see sources from the left, from the right, from the center, from Democrat, Republican, politically agnostic, local, national, international. As long as it's legal, I got it right there on the front page of the website. So you'll be able to find sources and find information more than what I put in the video. Okay, you want the full uncensored clip without me talking over it, without me pausing for fair use? It's right there on the website for 100% free. Check it out. Links always in the box. It's easy to find. It's just my name and my middle initial, Anthony, B as in boy, B as in Brian, B as in bring back the orange man in office come January 20th, 2025. AnthonyBLogan.com. Check it out. Also on the contact page of the website, AnthonyBLogan.com/contact us. You'll be able to find my email address, my snail address, my UPS box, of course, my social media accounts, my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, never going to call it X, TikTok, as long as that's still going to be there. And I got a question just right quick. Do you think that TikTok's going to be banned? Because remember, they said January 19th, 2025, it might be banned in the USA. However, Trump has signaled that he wants to save TikTok, and he becomes president officially inaugurated the very next day after TikTok is scheduled to be banned. Is that a coincidence? It just happens to be one day before he comes in office. Is there a coincidence? But anyway, they have a court date coming up, I believe, January 10th or so of next year, right before they're scheduled to be banned. So we'll see. Okay, we will see if they're going to do that or not. I don't expect for TikTok to be banned ultimately. I think they're going to save it. I'm not a fan of TikTok. I'm not a fan of, I think all social media platforms have their pros and cons. People talking about, oh, TikTok stealing your data. Well, newsflash, everywhere steals your data. You know, you just got to kind of do what you can to preserve your data. Don't put out a lot of your personal information. Just try to be as anonymous as possible if you're using these devices and social media applications. Try to be as anonymous as possible. We'll see. We'll see how it works. But again, all my information, all my contact information, social media accounts, all on the website, anthonyblogan.com. And if you're ever wondering if you're conversing with me or not, just check the method of communication. A couple of obvious things to let you know that it's not me. Number one, if you are getting a WhatsApp number or some random sketchy looking email and you can't get them on the phone, you can't get them on Snapchat, you can't get them on FaceTime or nothing like that, it's not me. Another little clue, I'm not going to be in the comment section offering you no money. Oh, send the gift cards here today and I will give you a balance check back. Wait for the check to clear a few days. They want to clear right away. Wait a little while. Don't rush to the bank and cash it immediately. You're rushing. Why are you rushing? If that is what you get on the other end of the phone, okay, you talking to somebody thinking it's ABL and they sound like that. A newsflash though. That's not me. So let's not give out no Apple iTunes gift cards. Let's not give up no cryptocurrency. Let's not give up your username and password to your rent. So they talking about, so yeah, I pay your rent and then book on you the next day. Let's not do that, okay? Let's keep all of our monies. It's Christmas time. People get weird. Let's keep all of our monies, all righty? Perfect. Now, shout out to you guys. Thank y'all if you watched me on the Hodge Twins pod. Hey, that was a lot of fun. Great conversation with my Virginia guys. And shout out to you if you saw me on Ashley Dalton talking about the big backs and how to eat properly. So shout out to you if you came from those places. All righty. Yeah. My phone, I got big hands. This is a S22 Galaxy. So this is a big phone. It has the pen and everything in it. So it's a pretty big phone. And what's the other one I have? I have the what's this? The 13 Pro Max iPhone. So that's even smaller. About the same size. But yeah, I do have big hands. All right, shout out to you guys. We got a whole lot going on. I appreciate y'all for joining. All right. Yeah, and I had to do the African voice on Hodge Twins. It was perfect. It was perfect. I enjoy a good comedy routine, a good comedic setup. I really enjoy that. Coming from Virginia, we got a lot of comedians that come from there. D.L. Hughley actually is from Portsmouth, my neck of the woods, but D.L. Hughley went to California early. If D.L. Hughley would have stayed in Portsmouth, Virginia, where he was born, where his parents are from, then he would have been more like me, just funny but not trying to be woke. But he went to California and went to L.A., and that's where he became woke. Okay? That's what happened with that. But we got Jay Farrell, went to my same high school. It's a lot of comedians from Virginia, and we got another guy by the name of Bodacious. Hey, shout out to Bodacious. You've been around for a long time in Virginia, doing your thing, always been funny. And now I see him going viral all over the place because people like that type of unk humor that's not woke. So shout out to him. And shout out to you guys for enjoying all the shows. Chesapeake, shout out Chesapeake. All right. The white man says Hodge stream was awesome. ABL's on point. Thank you. Shout out to you, Bobby Jenkins. I appreciate you. Hey, Virginia is definitely a fun place. It's definitely a good place to grow up, but I had to kind of, me personally, I had to kind of just explore and do more. But you can live in Virginia forever. It's a nice place to be. The crime is not super bad depending upon where you live. It's good. Okay. So yeah, shout out to y'all. I might have to do a meet and greet out there. A lot of y'all were asking me, let's go to Vegas. Let's do the San Francisco. I mean, that's San Diego, not San Francisco, San Diego, Vegas, Atlanta, Virginia. I might have to go up north somewhere, get me a pair of Timberland boots and some Gore-Tex coats and gloves to celebrate to celebrate with you guys and still stay warm. All right. But we got a whole lot going on. Thank y'all again for being here. Now, we got Christmas tree lightings in, what's this, Manchester, UK? What's going on with your tree? Can we get a better, like, what is this? Hey man, I need y'all to go up there and trim that tree a little bit better, and let's do a better job with the lighting. Maybe they're trying to save money on the lighting because we got global warming and stuff like that going on.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey!
Yeah. So Manchester, is that what you call a tree lighting? Is that supposed to be a Christmas tree? Y'all look, it appears like you just went and got a random tree from the forest, didn't really trim it that well. Okay, look, I've seen some of the trees get trimmed. You got guys that got samurai swords doing all types of stuff. Like guys that flip pizza and they're professional at it, they do that with the swords to trim the tree. And the lighting job, listen, man, I can do better than that right on my front garage right now with some light bulbs I got in my little junk drawer. Okay. So can we get a 1 to 10 with 10 being the best and 1 being the worst rating for this lighting of the Christmas tree out there in Manchester, UK? Can we get a rating on that? Oh man, that's not very good. It looks like they didn't have a ladder tall enough. So it just kind of stopped right there. Maybe they threw a few up here, but that's not very good. That's the Temu. Is that the Temu Christmas tree? Yeah, the tree's pretty massive, but the lighting. You get an A for having a really big tree. That's fantastic. You get an A for just size of the tree, but that lighting is got to be. People saying -10, -2, 1 out of 10, 2, 1, lighting 1. Yeah. Yeah, they got blame the Grinch for that one, bless. Yeah, they definitely got to blame the Grinch for that one. Yeah, man, that's not very American. I know it's over in Manchester, UK, so that's what they do. What? Now, guess where this is? I'll tell you where it's not. It's not over in Europe or somewhere. This is America all day long at the gas station.
Even got Santa out here. How about that? Try to tell y'all right clean down here in Greenville. Check out the center plate. That's cool. How about that? We got some presents. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, sir. What?
And very respectful. Merry Christmas, sir. You have a whole sleigh out here at the Wawa, the Buc-ee's, et cetera, et cetera. I love it. And it's a lot of seats in there too. So how many seats? We got, looks like 4 seats in the front. And right behind that is 4 more. And then the bench, it's probably 4. Yeah, so you got 12 seats overall. Oh no, we got more than that. We got more in the back. So like you got, 16? You got quite a few seats in that. And shout out to white guy with the gold teeth. Hey man, this right here has got to be one of the most America videos I've seen. Okay, white guy, gold teeth, having the time of his life. A real life Santa Claus riding the sleigh with ground lighting effects at the Buc-ee's or whatever gas station that is. I'm gonna say it's Buc-ee's because that's an American thing too. Where else can you see a gas station that has 300 pumps in the front of it? Nowhere else other than America. So shout out to America. And shout out to Santa Claus. Hey man, pull up. Oh, matter of fact, I ain't even show you the best part though, because let's not forget what Christmas is all about, right? I ain't even show you the best part. Hold on. Let me get it a close up. And again, this is a great picture. This picture, if I can get it high res, I'm gonna put it up on my wall in my house. All right. So you see, again, white guy, front and top and bottom, gold fronts. It might even be permanent. and you see the sign on the side of the sleigh. Jesus is the reason for the season. There we go. Hey. Shout out to my man right there, America, all day long. Hey, Manchester, UK could never, France could never, Germany, somewhere Africa, Asia, Europe, no, they could never. It's only in America. Now we got another vehicle, another very American Christmas vehicle.
What the f is that? What the f is that? What the f? What?
Hey, and then the beeping.
What the fuck is that?
I'm sorry for the cussing. I tried to censor it.
What the fuck?
Now that right there is great. My man has an entire Christmas display on this vehicle. I don't even know what kind of car that is, but it doesn't really matter. They got the elves, but not the elves, the reindeer. Look, you got the reindeer on top, lights. You got a little bit of everything going on. All right. American ingenuity never fails. Now, speaking about America, we got my man Trump with the alternate hairstyle. If you were playing like a game or something like this, you have your regular look and the alternate look. Here's Trump's alternate look. We see this occasionally with Trump. RIP to the headphone users. We see it occasionally with Trump where you got the hat hair after you've been golfing or something like this. So what do you think? The slick back, alternate hair look, or do we want the regular orange man, suit, tie, regular hair? Which one do we like?
Everybody having a good time? Is everybody a Republican?
So yeah, shout out to him. I don't know what happened. He might have been crashing the party or something like this. Yeah, he might have been crashing the party. Shout out to him. Yeah, I think this is at the Trump International Golf Club in Palm Beach. Yep. So shout out to him with the alternative hairstyle. Now, here is Mr. Harry Sisson. That's an unfortunate name. Your name is Sisson. That's one different vowel in there. It'd be a whole different name. But Harry Sisson, it says that Trump voters are already beginning to regret their votes. Do you agree with him? Is he right, wrong? What's going on?
It's crazy how it's only.
Now, I'm seeing something interesting right here. How old is this boy anyway? Hold on. Let me ask a question. He's born in 2002, so he's what, 22 years old? Okay. I'm about to say, you're a little bit too young to be doing that right there.
It's crazy how it's only been a month and Trump supporters are already regretting their vote. We told you so.
All righty, sir. You just turned 22 this year, drinking already, talking about Trump voters regret their vote. Sir, I think that we are really enjoying that we got the orange man back in town. I think we're really enjoying what we got coming up. I think we have a lot of hope for the future. You, on the other hand, you drowning your sorrows. You already hitting the sauce, sir. You're lost in the sauce already. Okay. I'm gonna see you in a year. You could be looking like Robert Downey Jr. when he was on the drugs, snorting cocaine and stuff like. You can be looking like that if you don't slow down. You already drinking on camera.
It's crazy how it's only been a month and Trump supporters are already regretting their vote. We told you so.
All righty, so hey, drink to your lie right there. Drink to your lie, and you got to do something to stomach the lies you tell. Yeah. You got to do something. Now, this guy right here is a former Democrat, and he's going to let you know the moment he knew he was going to vote for Trump. Let's watch.
This was the precise moment I no longer was a Democrat.
Raise your hand if your government plan would provide coverage for undocumented immigrants.
That was the precise moment that I knew I was leaving the Democratic Party, because I was a 2-time bone cancer survivor. I voted for Obama-Biden based on Obamacare. And when it was implemented in 2010, I ended up losing my insurance. I went from an insurance plan that was $185 a month with a $1,000 deductible to that policy being canceled because it no longer met the requirements of Obamacare. And I was left with the cheapest option being $1,200 a month, $6,000 deductible. $185 a month, $1,000 deductible to $1,200 a month, $6,000 deductible. I went 10 years without insurance, and I was penalized each year because I could no longer afford insurance. And in 2016, every single Democrat candidate up on that debate stage raised their hand and said they would give illegals free health care. While me, as a 2-time bone cancer survivor, lost mine. Didn't have insurance for 10 years, and I was supposed to get CT scans, chest x-rays, and all these other tests done every 6 months to ensure my cancer didn't come back. And they wanted to give illegals free health care. That was the exact moment I was no longer a Democrat.
Well, you know what? That'll do it. That will do it. Hey, first you have insurance. You're going through a thing, but your insurance is there. Okay, you're not necessarily too worried about the expenses. But now your insurance is gone, and the best you could do to replace it is so expensive that it's unaffordable. And if you don't have insurance, you get penalized financially. They take money from you. Like, it's not even about you got to pay it, and it's about a negotiation. No. Listen, if you don't pay the money, they'll take it from you physically. I'm talking about they'll go in your account and remove cash. They will intercept your tax return. But somehow Obamacare is a good thing. Why? Oh, because it covers those previous conditions. Okay, if it covers people that have these existing conditions, then why is my man right here out of luck when he had bone cancer? But then we talking about illegal aliens. Oh, we're going to give them health care. And it probably would be free on the taxpayers' dime. That's what's happening with the whole Springfield, Ohio situation. People are frustrated because, okay, you bringing in 20,000 Haitians to a town of 55,000. You bring in many people in to have them go work, quote unquote, but all the things they need, all their services, English language tutors, the healthcare system, the car insurance rate going up, all the police resources, all of what they need does not get paid for by them. It gets paid for by the taxpayer, by the people of the town. The federal money, maybe that's part of it as well, but the people of the town get taxed and they don't get any of the benefits from it. So yeah, the illegal alien situation, I was saying that's the biggest problem with the whole, that's the biggest issue that our country is facing is the illegal alien crisis, the migrant crisis, because it impacts us in so many ways, not just from health insurance going up, cost of living going up, everything goes up, crime, all kind of stuff. It's all bad. Now, speaking about health and whatnot, San Francisco has appointed a special government mandated weight gain princess in order to make sure that every San Franciscan has the right to die of morbid obesity, provided they don't get shot, stabbed, or die of a fentanyl overdose first. Now, that's obviously, this is RT writing that caption, but let's see what the fat czar of San Fran's got to say. Check it out.
Hi, my name is Virgie Tovar, and I'm the author of You Have the Right to Remain Fat, as well as a few other books on fat.
You have the right to remain fat. Let's start from the top.
Hi, my name is Virgie Tovar, and I'm the author of You Have the Right to Remain Fat, as well as a few other books on fat positivity and body acceptance. When I think about what people might be surprised by or what you wouldn't think of when you think of eating disorders, I immediately think of being a kid. I was a kid in a larger body, a teen in a larger body, and also I'm an adult in a larger body. And the message I always got from my doctor was shrink your body by any means necessary. And it really felt like there was a sense of a don't ask, don't tell. So because I truly believed, right, and this is where I think the surprise comes in. I really believed that this was about my health. I really believed that my doctor was right, because why would I believe anything? Hi, my name is...
Okay, so that's the fat czar right there. Now listen, they hired this person, and I bet they probably get paid $200,000 a year or some kind of crazy amount of money. Listen, if this is how you look and you have that kind of weight on you, you see, it's not about shrinking your body. It's about, hey, you're carrying way too much weight. You're putting stress on your body, on your vital organs, all of that. Your arteries clogged up with all kind of grease and gunk and muck. You got to take care of yourself. It's like having a vehicle. Okay, you got a car, right? Now, when you get the car, you can't just drive it, never put gas in, never put oil in it, never rotate the tires, never do any of the scheduled maintenance. You have to look after your car. You got to take care of your car. If you're beating your car up, never getting the oil change, and just completely letting it rot without any kind of maintenance, what's going to happen is that car is going to fail you. You're going to be on the side of the road one day wondering why it didn't crank up. Well, maybe it's because you have 85,000 miles in the car and you never had an oil change. Okay, your tires are bald as I am. Okay, you got bald head slick tires, right? You get basketball player bald head tires and you're wondering why you're all over the road hydroplaning. Well, maybe you might need a pair of tires. You need all your tires. You need all four. And you need to get it rotated. Basic maintenance of your vehicle. And if you're looking like this, talking about, yeah, I'm a fat czar, I just don't understand. I don't really get it. But hey, it is what it is. So shout out to the fat czar. Hopefully everything works out well. Oh, and speaking of food and whatnot, vegans. Hey, before we get into it, shout out to the vegans. If you don't know, little known fact, I was vegan back in the day when I was in my 20s. Going through I went through so many different phases. After my Farrakhan, Malcolm X, blackity black woke phase when I was like 25 or younger. In my late 20s, I was a vegan for like 3 years. I mean, it was a cool experience, I suppose. It taught me a lot about how to eat and what foods go good with me and what foods don't. But that experiment was over when I realized that I didn't feel the way that I used to feel, and I needed some of that actual animal protein. I guess you could get protein from beans and all kind of stuff like this, but you got to get the animal protein, in my humble opinion. A lot of your vegetables and carbohydrates, that's going to give you problems you don't really foresee until the future. All right, but check it out. And RIP to the headphone use. This is Jubilee. This is Middle Ground Jubilee. Let's watch.
You have other options available. You don't have to take an animal's life, but you choose to.
Well,
and that's what we're talking
upset
to you
because
about.
you guys are eating my food's food?
Most of the animals that are consumed by humanity, they don't even eat other animals. They eat nutrition from the ground, and so, or they get fed soy or what have you. And so it's like we're making this distinction that we have to eat them, but we're basically eating the middleman in order to get the nutrients that we need from the ground that the animal is getting anyway.
Nah, I understand what you're saying. I get it. But at the same time, just being on a plant-based diet is not going to work for me. I can tell you, I don't need to try it. I'm not going to try it. But I completely respect you guys for doing what you do. That's fine. I always come by the motto, live and let live. I really don't care. You guys do your thing, I'll do my thing, and we're good, you know?
But you're not living.
Live is ironic when you're killing.
I'm not talking about that right now. I'm talking about,
You just said it.
Very
It doesn't
contradictory.
just extend to
No.
humans. That's
I'm
human
talking about you
supremacy.
four individuals right here, right now. I'm not talking about Bambi. I'm not talking about Baloo the bear over there at Disneyland. I'm talking about you guys right here.
But what's the difference between letting me live and letting a non-human animal live? Like, I don't think that it would be any more wrong for you to kill me right now than it would be for you to go and kill a chicken right now. I think that would be morally
And
equivalent.
that's your point of view, and that's fine.
Okie dokie. So there's a lot going on there. First of all, it's funny when I hear vegans talk about the whole animal life thing. Oh, we're trying to protect animals. Well, how many animals die for you to grow your soybeans and your corn and all these vegetables? Agriculture is environmentally destructive, and you got to kill a lot of animals to be able to do it. Because, all right, we're talking about pesticides. What are pests? These are animals, right? Not just bugs, but also small rodents, boll weevils, moles, rats, mice, any kind of small little animal, a beaver, whatever, squirrels, any kind of animal that might want to come in and damage your crops, eat the crops. A lot of those are getting killed by hundreds and thousands. And the insects are just one thing, okay? Because you could eat those too. Those are animals too, right? To a certain extent. But a lot of your small rodents get killed all the time to promote agriculture. So if you want to eat a vegan lifestyle, hey, man, knock yourself out. That's fine. You eat whatever you want, man. It's your life. If you want to eat pieces of glass for a living, I don't recommend it, but that's your life, man. How am I going to stop you from taking a Coke can or a Coke bottle and banging that on the floor and then eating the glass? I don't think you should do it. I don't recommend that. But if you do it, what am I going to say? You know, you see some of these x-rays from doctors, it's all kind of stuff people put in their body. One person had an entire silverware set they had eaten some kind of way, or they swallowed the entire set. The set was extracted from this person. I think they didn't make it, because if you put 46 forks, spoons, and knives in your body, I don't see you living too much beyond that. But the person had an entire China set removed from their stomach. So you could do that, but I don't recommend it. My point is, I don't like the moral high ground. Oh, we love the animals. We're protecting the animals. What about them boll weevils right there? What about that mole right there? What about them rats and the mice and everything else you put in traps? You spray with chemicals to kill. What about them? To grow your corn and your soybeans or whatnot. And then you got these machines that till the fields, that harvest the crops. What do they run over when they're doing it? Because it ain't just your vegetables out there. Your cabbage and all your other leafy greens, your kale, your mustard greens, collard greens. It ain't just them out there in the field. So you got these big machines coming through to pick it. All kind of frogs, everything else are getting run over. As a matter of fact, I saw a video where in Mexico, somebody was getting a bag of bagged romaine lettuce or something, and there was a live frog in there, just ribbit, chilling. Obviously, you got other animals, other life forms aside from the plant matter in the open field, because it's outside, and animals live outside. But anyway, yeah, shout out to the vegans. Hey, man, if you like to eat a vegan diet, if you like it, I love it. I'm just saying, the whole I want to rescue animals thing, I'm not really sure. When you got this 10,000 ton machine coming through, plowing the crops, when you spraying pesticide, insecticide, and all kind of stuff all over the crops to get your corn and your soybean. Anyway, now the frog was in the package. Listen, Duke Raul, the frog was in the pack just chilling like, hey, what's going on? Wait, what we doing? Matter of fact, hold on. Now I got to find that video of the frog in the bag. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. There it is. That'll help me out tremendously. Okie dokie. So look, two shoppers found at a supermarket in Zacatecas, Mexico. They found the frog in the bag. So we got some regular lettuce right here, or it might be spinach. I can't really tell. Yeah, spinach.
Yo creo esas se están echando a perder, o sea, por el color.
Que se le empezó a mover.
Mira, ya estiró los piecillos, las patillas.
Ahí está suave.
Ya cerró los ojos.
Ya ves, está parpadeando. Mire.
And how about this? You're eating the frog's food. Okay, the frog One day he's just ribbiting all through the field, eating his little leaves, eating the spinach like Popeye, the sailor man. Here comes the machine or a worker throwing him and his food in the bag. He's like, okay, what's going on? Am I going to a vegan's house? Hopefully I'm not going to be hopefully I won't be frog legs at the end of the night. Hopefully I just get released back into the field. So yeah, shout out to the vegans. Yeah, hey, you know what? That's something else. It means it's fresh, don't it? It's super organic. You got the frog in there, very organic. All right, very fresh, 100% fresh. Now this is Ben Shapiro on a Jubilee episode. This might have come out a while ago, but I've not seen it until now. Now I gotta give you a spoiler. This is Ben Shapiro, obviously. Shout out to Ben, Ladovadoy, L'chaim, all of that. Now, this guy over here is not a guy. This is a woman. This person in the hoodie with the beard and the dude clothes, that is a woman biologically, who now identifies as a trans man. And you're going to hear the most ridiculous conversation ever, or at least some of it. Check it out.
First question, can men get pregnant?
Men cannot get pregnant.
Okay, awesome. So
definitionally.
Definitionally, okay. Do men experience SA? Sexual assault?
Sure.
Got it. What about the existence of trans men?
What about the existence? Do you mean women who believe that they are men? What are we talking about here? Women experiencing gender dysphoria?
So my other question is, do you benefit from white supremacy in any way, shape, or form?
I'm going to need more specifics on what you mean by white
supremacy.
Here,
let me give it to you then.
Sure, please.
So I'm a transgender man.
Okay.
I've experienced SA.
Okay.
And abortion rights affect me directly. So if we're talking about the American dream that you live, why don't I have access to that? Because there's no legislation, in the history of America, that legislates a man's body. So why does mine have to be legislated? I've got a vagina.
I'm not interested in what your genitalia are.
Clearly you are. I mean, it's all over everything you make, buddy. I'm sorry. I hate to say it to you, but
I think you can read on my face that I radically am not. I think you can read on my face that I radically am not. When we're talking about abortion...
No, I don't. I mean, you can present it here, but in most of the content that you have, you attack my community constantly. And you don't even realize guys like me exist, who actually share a lot of similarities to you.
Bro, or sis, bris, whatever we're going to call you. You are not a man. You got your little beard and all this good stuff. Okay, cool. That's great. But at the end of the day, you are not one of us. And that's fine. It's totally fine. But it is what it is. Don't try to say you are a man. You are a woman. If you think you're a man, that is called a mental illness, a mental disorder.
And everything, because I'm a married man of 20 years.
I
got a wife.
recognize that you exist. I disagree with your claim that you are a male.
So if I was sexually assaulted, right, and I didn't have access to that abortion care, do you believe that I should have carried that child to term because I was sexually assaulted?
I mean,
now the thing about that is so weird because the conservative point of view, well, at least from Trump, I'll say Trump's point of view is that he believes in the three exceptions: rape, incest, life of the mother. And he said that on TV numerous times. So I don't understand why this individual right here is talking about, oh, well, if I get assaulted, must I carry the baby, all this, that, and the third? Like, that's not even really a question.
No, I just want to make sure that that's what you believe. Because as a transgender man, I have seen your side of the entire political debate, never, ever having the conversation of what an American freedom is. Because why am I not allowed to live my American freedom as a man? You know, I mean, you get your choice as a man to live and free and all that.
You're really moving around terminology very wildly here.
And so are you, because that's the tactics you play in your game. And you've done it the entire time. You've jumped from one subject to the next. You speak so fast, and I know how you work. So how does it feel to have it in your face?
Oh, well, I mean...
Because I'm sick and tired of the shit that you have put against my community.
All right, I'm gonna pause it right there. Now, this goes on for a long time. She's just going on and on and on, not letting them talk. It's weird. And then you got cheerleaders in the background. Yes, brother, sister, whatever you are, ZZM, yeah. All that weird stuff. And the scary part is that these people in this room could be part of the government. You might see them again in the future. They might be in an important space in this country. All right, so let's say young lady right here, she's in California, becomes the next AOC, a House rep, something like that, a lawmaker. That's going to be a dangerous person to have in office. Doesn't know anything. Social media has controlled her brain. It's going to be a mess. But you know what? One thing that this person couldn't do, they got the beard and everything. They look like a male a little bit, but you still don't have the male temperament, the male mind. You're trying to be something, but ultimately you're not that. And when what you're trying to be meets what you are, now we got an internal conflict. We got a big internal conflict going on. So, hey, man, mental health is going to be a serious problem coming up here in the future. A serious problem. All right. Now, also speaking of mental health, I promise I got one more. I got this one, then I move on to some more stuff. This person is trigender. You know what? And I remember saying stuff like this back in the day. Oh, they're going to talk about trigender. I was saying stuff like trigender when I was much younger to troll. I'm like, man, nobody would really say they're trigender. But here we are. I thought in 2024, we have flying cars. We got flying magic school buses, flying Chevy Tahoes that we don't know where they come from over New Jersey. But we don't have flying cars, regular normies. And we have 18 million genders. Check it out.
I am trigender, which means like a triangle, I have 3 genders. Male, female, and non-binary. And the difference between trigender and gender fluid is that I feel all 3 of these genders at the same time, all the time. It doesn't ever shift or change, or where I feel one gender more strongly than the other, like gender fluid tends to be. Also, I should recognize and accept that a lot of people don't see non-binary as a third gender. They see it as something completely separate from the binary of male and female. But for me, it's like a third gender, or I guess you could call it a third identity. I am.
All right. You know what? Back in my day, here's old man shakes fist at cloud. Back in my day, if you didn't know what you wanted to be, if you didn't know what your identity was, you might have got called crazy. You might have got put in a loony bin. You would have some kind of intervention to fix the mental problem. That's all it is. People just, I don't know. We're incentivized people that just have crazy takes of mental problems and whatnot. Now, speaking of crazy takes, this person right here says, hey, the Democratic Party, it should be led by women of color. All right, let's see this here.
Party should be led, to your point, by young women of color. Right,
Come on.
Because young women of color are the reasons that Democrats do actually have some of these wins. And we know how to communicate in ways that reach that more moderate voter, but also that progressive in the party.
Okay, now here's my question to anyone who says that women of color should lead the Democratic Party. Is that will that be the best thing for them? Because I don't see how it is. When you're looking at the community, especially black folks, we don't do well under Democratic policies. We don't do well. It's not going well. Look at any of these places across the country. Chicago, New York, LA. We've pretty much been removed from Los Angeles, if you have not noticed. San Fran too. We used to be a big population in San Francisco, Los Angeles, not so much anymore. Do you know that although California is majority Hispanic, then white, then other, then maybe black, we're like about 5% population in California? If I'm wrong, y'all fact check me. But the majority is Skid Row, the homeless encampment in Los Angeles. That's 80-90% black. So it's like, I don't understand why you keep voting for these policies that don't do well for you. In other parts of the country, heavy Democrat places, Baltimore, black kids can't even read. And I refuse to accept the excuse, oh, it's just y'all just black, you can't do anything. Listen, when I was in the hood out in Portsmouth, Virginia, and if you're from Virginia, you know what I'm talking about. I come from a hood environment. I stayed downtown Portsmouth. My dad had a house on South Side, right by Jeffrey Wilson, all of that. I used to be everywhere, all in the super hood places. Even in those environments, we still championed education. Reading was very important. If you had a problem with reading, it was like something was wrong with you. You would get laughed at for not knowing how to read. But Baltimore, a lot of these other Democratic strongholds, it's not even really important to know how to read. The parents can't read, the kids can't read, the teachers, they can't really do much. And a lot of times they're bad as well. The administration, they got nice jewelry on, iced out, nice earrings, watches, and whatnot, but the kids can't read. What was that when Mark Zuckerberg gave Newark Public Schools $100 million? Everybody got paid, everybody got their money, but Raheem still can't read. And somebody might try to say that I'm a racist for saying that, but look, I'm going to pull up an article in which they said that exact thing, and it's not a right-wing website. This is Salon. This is like a notorious left-leaning or leftist website. Look at this. This is from 2014. Mark Zuckerberg's Newark school cash drop. Everybody got paid, but Raheem still can't read. Right on the front page. Right on the headline. Okay. Now, I think it was, $100 million he gave to Newark, New Jersey. Everybody got paid, but Raheem still can't read. So your Democratic policies, throwing money at it, pushing everybody through the system, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. The parents don't care, so the kids don't care, and the teachers can't really do much if the parents don't care and the kids don't care. If the teachers are good, their lessons will fall on deaf ears. If they're bad, they'll just be paid to be bad, to be babysitters, basically. Anyway, but yeah, let's go to your man Joe Biden. He's still around. I know that you've not seen him at all. Hey, he dropped out and pretty much dropped out, right? He dropped out. It's like, all right, I'm about to go to the beach and I'm chilling. But here he is talking about the economy.
One thing that we haven't been able to change yet, and it's starting to change, is that you go to a grocery store, a dozen eggs, a gallon of milk, a pound of bacon, still costs more than it did before the pandemic. That's a lot of money for people. It's taken time to change that. So there's reason for frustration, but there's gigantic change been made.
But the thing that I think is, because I'm wrestling with that same question, Mr. President, I know you are too. Why are people still feeling an unease about an economy that clearly has macroeconomic indicators improving? And at least from my impression, the math is getting harder for some middle-class families to make it.
Look, the reason why the economy is still a problem is because the economy is not where it should be. You could look at numbers on a sheet of paper and say, oh, things are better, everything is fine. But when I go to the store and I'm still paying a lot of money for my essentials, for my groceries, for basic food, I'm talking about chicken breast, rice, basic stuff. When I'm paying still a lot more for that, there's an issue with the economy. All the numbers you want to throw at me, all these macro, micro indicators mean nothing when I'm in the actual grocery store and I'm looking at my actual bill and it's sky high.
If you look at affording college right now, it takes up a higher percentage of middle class income. The big picture stuff, the owning a car, child care, some of the biggest items in people's lives when they think about generational wealth and having their next kids grow up. I think the math just shows it's harder now.
It is. That's why I forgave billions of dollars in student loans. Billions. It's good for America. It helps America when they don't have, they can then go buy the home. I pushed very hard, as others have. Didn't get it done for a child care tax credit. That increases economic growth. A woman can go to work knowing her child's going to be okay, knowing things are going to work, increasing productivity across the board. And it's just beginning to sink in. But I think that it's hard to tell someone about the hundreds of thousands of jobs that are created with the CHIPS and Science Act when they haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you could do all these things, all these numbers. Okay, we did this, we did that, we did that. Okay, great, cool. But I'm about to go to Publix right now. Can I get 50% off? Can I get a coupon code? Can I get something that'll help me right now with what we got going on in this country? And you know what? I think one thing we could do is shut that border up. Shut that border up, because the border is costing us a lot from letting everybody in, letting them do whatever they want to do. It's costing us quite a bit. Now, Kamala's still around too. I thought she'd be done for good, but she's still around.
For the promise of America. And I ask you to remember the context in which you exist. Yeah, I did that.
Now, imagine if we had to go through 4 years of that. 4 years of cackling, I wouldn't have made it. I would not have made it, man. I would have had to go to Elon, like, yo, Elon, can you please get the Mars machine, the Mars ship fired up? If I got to go on a mission to find the resources to get it powered up, I'm going to do it. Well, we got to go dive underwater to find some plutonium or something crazy. Okay, look, whatever you need, Elon, let me know, because I cannot be here for the cackling for 4 years.
I ask you to remember that this struggle is not new.
All right, the struggle's not new. Okie dokie. The struggle for you to cook them greens in the bathtub is not new without getting all kind of little extra stuff in there. Okay, little bonus protein in the collard greens in your bathtub. Okay. Now here we go. We got a little bit more word salad from Kamala. I know you guys love Kamala's word salad, don't you?
Our spirit is not defeated. We are not defeated. Let's be clear about that. We are strong. We are clear about why we are in this. And because you're here right now, I say, again, thank you, because not only are you clear about all of that, you're willing to put in the hard work. And that work must continue. We cannot let any circumstance or situation or individual ever take away our power to know why we do what we do and our ability to then get that work done. And especially because we know what we...
Is that what you guys learned in college? How to just produce word salad instantly like that? It's like a pot of instant, like ramen noodles. Just add water and you got the noodles. That's kind of what it seemed like to me. Now look, we have an interesting collaboration right here. Okay, RIP to the headphone. I'm gonna turn the sound down. Matter of fact, we need the sound right there. Now this is. Hold on. Let me make sure I got the right thing. Where are they at? So they're at a Christmas party, a White House Christmas party. Hunter Biden and Flavor Flav. Yes, Flavor Flav, Public Enemy. 911's the joke in your town. Now, what do you think they're talking about? If you ask me, somebody here is saying, hey, where the cocaine at? Where is the cocaine? Can we get that right now? Look. I got it in my shirt. I got it in my shirt pocket. That's what he's saying. Flav's like, no, I got it. Hey, let's go back in the bathroom back here and let's go ahead and just have a good time. Hey, Hunter, they found your cocaine last time in front of the foyer. Don't drop it no more. Hey, don't worry about it, Flav. I got it. I'm not going to drop the coke no more. I'm delivered. I don't smoke crack no more. All right. I'm on the regular cocaine. And if you got it, look, matter of fact, it might have been a little bit of a nose rub right there. If you got the cocaine, Flav, let's go back here. All right. And I got it. Okie dokie. So, yeah, shout out to Hunter and Flavor Flav. That is an epic team up, right? What in the world is Hunter Biden and Flavor Flav talking about? What are they talking about? If it ain't cocaine, crack, some kind of drugs, what are they talking about? And don't tell me, oh, you're wrong, ABL. They both have known issues with drug addiction. I'm not saying they still get high right now, but hey, if you had an uncle that smoked crack your entire childhood and you saw him again in the future at a party speaking to another guy that smoked crack before and they all chummy, the thought will enter your mind, hey, hopefully my uncle is not back smoking again. They'll say that. That's what they're gonna say. But yeah, shout out to Flav. Hopefully he's nice and clean. To be totally serious. Hopefully he's clean and everything's good. And Hunter, hey man, he need to go to the penitentiary to make big rocks little rocks. How do you lie on the background check? Listen, the craziest thing, there was a school shooting, RIP to those that died recently, right? And Hunter Biden, Joe Biden in the White House put out a notice talking about we want gun control. Sir, gun control, matter of fact, let me find the proclamation right quick. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. But look, you're talking about gun control. Why would you need gun control when you have gun control laws in the books you don't follow? Matter of fact, here it is. Here it is. So look, after the shooting at a Christian school in Wisconsin, and by the way, I think the shooter in that case was a kind of a confused person going down the path of being a transformer, but not quite there yet. I don't know what's going on, but anyway. So this is a caption from the Blaze, but here's the actual letter from the White House. The caption says, Biden released a statement using the shooting at a Christian school in Wisconsin to advocate for more gun control. Listen, how are you going to say anything about gun control when you pardon your son for lying on the background check to get a gun? He violated the entire point of the law, which was to have gun control, to not let addicts and whatnot get their hands on the weapon. So I'm not trying to hear it. I'm not trying to hear it. You guys don't believe in gun control. You believe in that selectively whenever you want to. When it's Hunter Biden and he violates gun control laws, you let him get off with a slap on the wrist at best. But then when it's a regular normie, a mama or something like this, you want to put her in the penitentiary to make big rocks to little. It's so silly. It is so silly. Now, speaking about silly things, Chicago, the migrant crisis in Chicago is a mess. Big cities, New York, Chicago, have an issue with it. New York City, Eric Adams, he is against the migrant crisis. He is against all the illegal immigration. He's against it. And what they did to do with it in New York, rather than just not being a sanctuary state or city, which is a different story, now I digress. What they did was say, okay, we're going to cut certain city services to pay for the migrants. 5%, something like this. Now, I'm not quite sure if they follow through with that plan to cut services, but that's what they wanted to do, was to cut services. Now, in Chicago, what they wanted to do is raise taxes, talking about, oh, we got to tax the rich. Tax the rich. Last I checked, we all pay personal property taxes. Last I checked, we all paid that. Am I wrong about that? Or is it just for the rich? So you own a house. It's not that much. We saw some of the tax increases in the south suburbs. Guy had a house that's worth like $100,000. He paid for it in cash. Look, the guy did the 100% right thing. He worked hard, had a skilled trade. What was it, like a diesel mechanic and trucker, stuff like this. He did right, saved his money, and paid for a house in cash. He could pay his taxes normally, but then they skyrocketed overnight. Why? Because we got the migrants now. So when you say we're going to tax the rich, what person would say that a guy who has a house worth $100,000 is rich? You're taxing everybody, and you're taxing people that don't have a lot of money out of their house. Now let's go here. This is a young man blasting the Chicago mayor over the migrant crisis. Check it out.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon. You spent over $574 million on illegal immigrants here in Chicago, Illinois since 2022. Now, you still feel like you have to harbor these illegals, which is not a good idea. And in my personal opinion, I don't think it's a good idea to challenge Tom Homan on this, because he's trying to clean up our cities, Mr. Brandon Johnson. Now, let me just remind everybody here that Brandon Johnson is terrible with the budget. How is this $40 million credit line is going to work exactly? Because the key word is credit. So how much will we be using from this $40 million? And the real question is, how much will we be paying back? Now, you want to sit here, you and JB Pritzker want to puff out your chest and fight Tom Homan. We need Tom Homan here in Chicago. We need Donald Trump. And I don't want to see people like Pam Bundy and Kash Patel, you know, haul you up out of here and become prosecuted. I don't want to see that happen. But they will do their job if they have to, Brandon Johnson. Now, we are $1 billion in debt. That's absolutely insane. Kamala Harris, she spent $1 billion on her campaign less than a year, and she's $20 million in debt. So it's looking like Democrats are bad with money. Now, you ignored me for 10 to 15 seconds last time I was speaking, and I really did not appreciate that at all. But I got a Christmas present for you. Let's remind the people of Chicago that Brandon Johnson spent $32,000 in campaign funds on haircuts and makeup. So I got an early Christmas present for you, Brandon Johnson. This is some makeup for you right here. You got some rouge, you got the makeup brush right there, so you can save this people some money, for crying out loud. Now, let me tell you people, I'm going to be serious here. We need to start voting different in these cities like New York and Chicago. Stop voting these people in. It's not Democrat versus Republican anymore. It is populist versus establishment. It is the populist versus the establishment. Stop letting them trick you into the race baiting when it comes to Brandon Johnson. Oh, black people need help too. Trump want to hurt black people. What are you talking about? We're legal here. We are legal. Now, I'm trying to be nice about this. And Mr. Brandon Johnson, I do respect you in a little bit of way because you're trying the best that you can. I really want to believe that. But listen, man, you got a 14% approval rating. So the people is looking like they're telling you that you're fired, man. So I'm just humbly asking you, Brandon Johnson, to please come up with something that's reasonable by the end of this year, because I don't want to see a government shutdown, Mr. Brandon Johnson. Please do your job. I don't care if you're black. Chicago needs to get rid of DEI. I don't care if you're black. Can you do the job? Can you do the job, Mr. Brandon Johnson? And it's looking like you can't do the job. So please don't fail us.
Thank you very much for your comments.
Hey. Very well said, young man. Very well said. And again, this is a Chicago City Council meeting, and he's speaking to Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson. Okay, Brandon Johnson, you got $1 billion deficit, $1 billion debt in the city, and you're trying to raise money from the citizens, trying to bleed them, try to pay for your illegal aliens. How about get the illegal aliens up out of the country? How about that? That was very well said. Hey, sir, if you can hear me, you run for mayor soon. Hey, have a clean background. Make sure ain't nothing crazy back there. You become the mayor and set the city back on track. Hey, if it was between that guy right there and Brandon Johnson and I was in Chicago, I knew who I'm voting for. I know who I'm voting for immediately. So yeah, that was very well said. Now, let's go to New York City. This is the opposite side of the aisle. And you saw that guy right there. Nice, put together, handsome guy, straight to the point, made a lot of sense, right? He black. Now we're going to go to New York City, and another black guy's going to have a different kind of tune. And he's going to look a little bit different as well. Like, look at his appearance off the rip. Are these pearls you have on? Beads, pearls? Look at your outfit. Look at your outfit. You have on a pin that says, "Be Love." So you already know immediately where we're going here. You got a pocket square for no reason. Okay. This guy is going to say something crazy. Watch.
We have to be clear that if passed, the legislation would have a disparate impact on low-income individuals, people of more color, and undocumented migrants. I know for some that doesn't cause concern, but the impact should. Undocumented immigrants might be reluctant to fill out applications to register their bicycles, but they might not be more reluctant to ride the bicycles. We have to be.
So look, there's a bill in New York City requiring license plates for motorized bikes. And this guy's saying that that bill would be racist to undocumented migrants, illegal aliens, and the community. Let's hear that one more time with that context being known.
We have to be clear that if passed, the legislation would have a disparate impact on low-income individuals, people of more color, and undocumented migrants.
So it have a disparate impact among low-income individuals, people of color, and migrants to require a license plate for a motorized bike. And the reason why that's happening is because the illegal aliens are driving these motor scooters and whatnot, like they're Harley Davidsons, crashing into people, stealing things, all types of stuff. So if they steal something from you, if they rob you, gunpoint, assault you, and get away on the scooter, okay, now we got a plate we could track to see where they're going to go. That's kind of what's going on here, in my humble opinion.
I know for some that doesn't cause concern, but the impact.
Yeah, them e-bikes, exactly, most mundane. And remember, the shooter, Luigi, he had an e-bike. So they're trying to put a lid on that problem with these free bikes, the city bikes or whatever. They're trying to put a lid on that problem to combat crime. But you know, liberals, they dumb. You know, one thing about liberals is that they're dumb. I was trying to find a better way to put it. Oh, they don't know any. They're just dumb. They don't know anything. So then when they get into a position of power, they just do more dumb things. Just like, what was that? Kim Foxx. Remember Kim Foxx from the Jussie Smollett situation out there in Cook County, Illinois, Chicago? Now, she failed to register for continuing education. And as a result, she got disbarred, if I'm not mistaken. Like, I might not be saying that 100% properly, but that's kind of what happened. She cannot practice law anymore because she did not follow up with her continuing education, which is a good thing for me. Shout out to them. Shout out to her for not doing what she had to do to continue her education. Now, let's keep on going here. All right, let's go to Canada, the great white north. Somebody confronted Justin Trudeau, and I love it. And word on the street, rumor has it that he may resign because there's some movement happening right now in this government. They don't like what he's got going on. They don't like him. Canadians don't like Trudeau, from what I'm hearing. So he may resign. Now, here he is getting confronted by somebody. Check it out. And RIP to the headphone users in advance.
King Trudeau, what gives you the right to continue? What gives you the right to stay in office? You failed Canada. You've ruined our country. You're done. Walk away. You don't have an ounce of your father's integrity. At least he walked in the snow. You've ruined this country. Everyone around you is running from you. They're abandoning you. Chrystia Freeland, Sean Fraser, they've all left you. It's time for you to go. It's time for Canada to have an election. You're not the king. You're not the king of this country. You are not our king. You are a public servant and you have failed.
And you know what? That was really good. Shout out to him. He's not a king, but that's the way he behaves. And also, Gavin Newsom, same way. Gavin Newsom should be the front runner to become the Democratic Party's nominee to run for president. It's kind of obvious. I mean, why not? You're already the governor of California. You've been there for a long time. You're Nancy Pelosi's nephew. You're tied in. Everybody knows you. You're like the top guy over there. But Gavin is comfortable being the king of California. So it's like, why would I give up my kingdom to become a servant of the people? I could just do whatever I want in California and anybody going to do nothing. But once I go to Washington, D.C., now I got to answer to people and I got to be accountable for Democrats, Republicans, and everybody in between. I got to be a leader of the free world. Why would I want to do that when I could just be the king of California? Same thing happening in California that's happening in Canada right now, in my humble opinion. All right. But shout out to you guys. Oh, and I got to go super chat right here. Thank you to Michael Critchlow says, shout out Newport News native Michael Vick for becoming Norfolk State's new head football coach. Absolutely. Shout out Michael Vick. Michael Vick, of course, from Virginia, from Newport News, that area over there, other side of the water. He has now become Norfolk State's new football coach. That's going to be big for the area, for Virginia, because you're going to bring in high recruits. It's going to be a good team. Park Ave, Bremerton, Topwater, all of that is going to be off the hook. Okay, it's going to be off the hook down there. Topwater Drive, Park Ave, Bremerton is going to be crazy. I don't know where they're going to park. They got to go ahead and redo Eccles and get that kind of rejuvenated, but it's going to be a good thing. I think they're going to wind up being better than ODU in football. So we'll see. Shout out to Michael Vick. I know some don't like the whole dogfighting thing. I understand. I get it. But hey, we'll see how he does as the new football coach of Norfolk State. Behold the green and gold. Shout out to you guys who went there to NSU. All right, let's keep on going here. Let's go to Joy Reid talking about Trudeau.
And right now, Trump is that toddler. And he wants nothing short of complete obedience and constant adulation for everyone to say they love him and praise him and tell him he's the best president ever. And it'll never be obsequious enough or vigorous enough. He'll always want more and punish and humiliate even those who do comply. Just ask Marco Rubio, Ted Cruz, and all the black Republicans who went to the mat for Trump during the campaign only to get snubbed as he builds his administration.
I mean, that's the dumbest thing in the world. Like, I've heard that quite a bit. I've heard that quite a bit where people say, oh, well, all these black conservatives, they were supporting Trump during the campaign and they got snubbed. They told me that. They were like, well, you've been a big supporter of Trump through the whole campaign. Why didn't you get a job? It's like, I'm not looking for a job. I'm straight. I'm good. I've been doing what I've been doing for a long time. For the past 10 years I've been here on YouTube. I like what I do. So I'm not looking for a job. That's not why I do what I do. I'm not trying to angle for, that's not my mentality. But so much of the left, they're more worried about what they can get from somebody. Okay, I'm going to do this to get that in return. I'm going to look out for Trump because I want to get a job and I want to get that. I want to get that. As always, gimme, handout. I don't like that. And I had no intention of even thinking about going to the White House or going to DC and working for the administration. I do what I do well with a team not really being around me all the time. I do what I do better right here. To try and put me in the job and put me in the box and make me go to DC, I'm good on that.
He will always reward weakness with more humiliation. And that includes foreign leaders like Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, who went to Mar-a-Lago last month to kiss the ring, behaving like Trump was already president, which he's not. And how does Trump reward him? By publicly mocking Trudeau on his social media site, once again calling Trudeau the governor.
All right, so here's a Truth Social post because they love not reading things and making whatever kind of interpretation they want to make. But it says, the great state of Canada is stunned as the finance minister resigns or was fired from her position by Governor Justin Trudeau. Her behavior was totally toxic and not at all conducive to making deals which are good for the very unhappy citizens of Canada. She will not be missed. That was December the 16th. So just a couple days ago.
Of the great state of Canada. Joining me now is Tim O'Brien, senior executive editor.
All right, we ain't going to watch Tim O'Brien. Matter of fact, it's only a few seconds. Let's watch
Bloomberg
this.
Opinion and MSNBC political analyst. And I have to tell you, this Trudeau thing really bothered me. Let me just put up this tweet that Trudeau posted on why is he still on X Twitter? But he posted this tweet of himself. Look at me next to Donald. Look, what is he doing? When will people learn, Tim, that emasculating yourself before Trump, as Ted Cruz did, as so many have done, doesn't help and just makes him worse?
Okay, so you heard that little voice she did. So you're mocking his voice. Why would you do that? Because he took a picture with Trump? All right, so you saying that Trump is insulting them, but then you mock him. So it's the pot kettle black, ain't it? But the caption here says, thanks for the dinner last night, President Trump. I look forward to the work we could do together again. Okay, that's just that. Simple. Now, one thing that Trump always does is he won't hold punches when he's talking about certain people and trying to get certain things done. His style could be seen as brash and abrasive, but it works. And here's my opinion. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's how I feel about the whole situation. But anyway, you guys are funny in the chat. Talking about someone that got so many roles. You guys are crazy in the chat. Shout out to y'all. If you like what you're hearing so far, y'all know what to do. Now, we got some street protests talking about more dead CEOs, please. I ain't going to play the sound. Well, I will.
New York hates
All right, so let's turn the sound down. So did some of these signs say more dead CEOs, please? Another one says something. Everybody hates you. Another sign says every Gilded Age in ruins. And then it says deny, defend, depose. So these are all the acolytes of Luigi Mangione, those who think that he did a good thing. I mean, it's just the same old people that want a handout. Lazy bums, man. Get off the street and go get a job. How about that? Like the Occupy Wall Street people. How are you occupying Wall Street? Like, where do you work? What do you do for a living? How do you feed yourself? Mommy and daddy making your 25-year-old self comfortable while you do nothing but just lay on your hind parts all day and go out there and try to be for the little guy? Please spare me the nonsense. Spare me the nonsense. And throughout history, whenever you want to attack those at the top, the CEOs, the elite, you want to attack them because you think that they're the problem. And if you get in power, you could do better. If you do get in power after you have deposed of the elites, you will be the elite and you will be deposed of next. You'll be disposed of, gunpoint, line up against the wall. That's how it always happens throughout history. It never changes. It's always the same old thing. Always. Now look. I'm gonna turn the music down. But they have an altar for this guy. They got the candles for this guy. Now listen. Tell me that liberalism is not a mental disorder. Tell me that liberalism is not a mental disorder. If you say that, look, I got this right here for you. If you say that they're not dealing with some serious mental issues, I can't tell. I cannot tell. An altar of the shooter, for real? Come on. Come on. Anyway, now look, speaking about people that actually are heroes, not Luigi Mangione, but Daniel Penny. Shout out to Daniel Penny. Hey, you beat the case, as you should. Hopefully you get paid as well, because your life was turned upside down for a year and a half. They put a bounty on your head. They made you out to be a white supremacist. They did all that. Hopefully my main man, Daniel Penny, gets paid handsomely. Handsomely from this whole kerfuffle. Now look, here's an example of when you need a Daniel Penny to be on the subway. Because you got morons like this right here. Look at this. This guy is holding the door open. Sir, I got places to be. Sir, I have places to be. Get out of the door.
Come on, bro. Yo, release the door. I'm waiting for my... Get the fuck up, man. What the fuck is wrong with you? What the hell?
There we go. That's how you handle that. Okay, you want to be doing all this extra stuff. Let's go ahead and do this.
I'm waiting for my... Get the fuck man. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Wait for my friend. Look, man, we got places to be. You can't be holding the door up. So yeah, shout out to him. Hey, we need more men in these places, because if the guy doesn't come there and get that guy out of the door, how long are they going to be there? And then you're late, making everybody else late. They got places to be because you're inconvenienced. Well, look, wait for your friend on the next train. How about that? That's what I would say. So again, we need more men to step up and make sure things go smoothly. All right. Yeah, get them out of the way. And then that was New York City too, man. Look, I can imagine how y'all be on the train. It's like, hey, come on, get out of the way. I'm walking here. Get out of the way. I'm walking here. They don't really play no games, man. So yeah, shout out to my man for making that guy get up out of the way. All right. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right. Now, Colorado, we got to talk about the Trinidad gang that got arrested. Oh, the craziest thing about the TDA situation is the local news being so like flabbergasted that it's actually a real thing going on. Matter of fact, I got to play that one. That was really crazy. And shout out to you guys for being here. I appreciate y'all. You guys are the best. Yeah, but I got to play that one. Hold on.
And we are trapped.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that first. Before we play that, Aurora, Colorado. Before we play that, let's look at the governor of Colorado. Before we get to the Aurora, Colorado gang situation, let's see the governor.
Colorado, try this week's crumble cookies with me. First, we have breaking down.
Let me start from the top.
Hey, Colorado, try this week's crumble cookies with me. First, we have breaking down barriers to housing people can afford near transit. That's a 10 out of 10. Next, we have cutting people's property taxes and income taxes. Really good. That's a 50 out of 10. Next, we have free preschool and kindergarten for every Coloradan. That's the best so far. That's 1,000 out of 10. Next, we're putting politicians in charge of women's bodies. You know what? That's 0 out of 10. We're not even going to try that one. Hey, Colorado.
All right, so big back presentation, a box of crumble cookies, and do you guys not have free K through 12? I don't understand. You said free kindergarten. Wait a minute. Let me run that back because that was kind of confusing.
Next, we have cutting people's property taxes and income taxes. Really good. That's a 50 out of 10. Next, we have free preschool and kindergarten for every Coloradan.
Oh, preschool. Okay, preschool and kindergarten. All right, I see. But is kindergarten not free in Colorado? Y'all got to pay for that? I thought that was K through 12 public. Preschool, maybe I understand. Like if you get Head Start or something like that, it might not be free. But kindergarten's not free? That's weird. So yeah, the Cookie Monster. You guys are funny. So shout out to the Cookie Monster, the governor of Colorado. Sir, I'm going to need a little bit more from you than that because we have a migrant crisis happening in Denver and the surrounding areas. Aurora, Colorado, Castle Rock, I think, got an issue. There's all kind of things happening in your state with the migrants. Focus on that rather than being the big bad eating them cookies. Cookie Monster. Let's watch the local news. Local news out there in Colorado is disgusting.
Tracking breaking news this morning, 14 people detained at the edge of Lowry Apartments in Aurora early this morning. So that complex, of course, drawing national attention in recent months. Thanks for being here at 8 o'clock. I'm Andrea Henderson.
Hey guys, I'm Kirk Yonke. Police responding to reports of a home invasion, a stabbing, and a potential kidnapping. So let's get over to Fox 31's Courtney Fromm. She's out there live at the scene. I know, Courtney, you've been trying to talk with police, get some more information. Obviously, you can see the scene as it develops behind you, and quite the response. Do we know why a SWAT vehicle is there?
Yeah, good morning to you both. We are still working to get all those details. I have been in contact with Aurora Police, specifically on why the SWAT vehicle is here, and then on top of all of that, to see if there's any sort of connection potentially to the Venezuelan gang situation that we've been talking about over the last few months. It has made the national spotlight as well, but you can see this scene still here. The edge at Lowry Apartments, really, really busy. Several Aurora police cars, that SWAT vehicle right off there in the distance. We saw ATF, that's alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. They're also on scene, and it looks.
Let's pause. So we got this big armored vehicle right here that's clearly ready for battle because Venezuelan gangs are known to shoot at police. Yes, they are. So that's why the vehicle is right there. The reporter acts so shocked and flabbergasted. Oh, why is the armored vehicle out there? Is it really the gang? Sir, this same place has been dealing with a gang problem for months, if not over a year now. And they're all Venezuelan, 100% Venezuelan. The victims are Venezuelan and the criminals. They're all Venezuelan, regular normie Venezuelans that are not in the gang, who could be there illegally, and illegal Venezuelan gang members are all in this one place. And they got a really big problem with crime and violence right there. If you go there and ask them, hey, are you guys being terrorized by a Venezuelan gang? And you're on camera, broad daylight, they're not going to say anything to you, because if they do, they're going to get deleted and they still get family back home. So it's just one phone call and their whole family's dead back in Venezuela. So they're not going to say anything. When they first went there and asked them on camera with uniforms, are you being harassed by the gangs? They're not going to say anything to you. That was incompetent right there. But local reporters, let's skip ahead a little bit, because this guy was asking some dumb questions. Let's go to this part.
And there's families walking their kiddos with backpacks on and trying to get them to school, I imagine. Just a very, very active scene, and we'll keep you guys updated throughout the morning as more information becomes available. But for now, live in Aurora, Courtney from Fox 31.
What is interesting, so we know this all started happening. Police first responded around 2:30 this morning.
Right.
So you think, 5.5, 6
Still
hours
taking people
later
into custody.
that they're still taking.
Oh, and by the way, they arrested 15 people and they found all 15 inside of one apartment. So what's that? 2:30 a.m., 15 people, one apartment, a home invasion, a kidnapping, a stabbing, and they're all Venezuelan. What else is it other than the gang that's been there causing the exact same problems for a year? I'm triggered.
Taking people in.
Right.
This is clearly a massive operation that they're kind of dealing with right now.
And I wonder if they're still, Courtney, it sounds like maybe trying to still figure out, all right, what happened here?
Yeah.
Who's involved? Who did what? Who's responsible? Et cetera, et cetera. And so many allegations about the Venezuelan gangs at those apartment buildings, and we haven't heard anything about that at this point from police, have we?
Oh, it's not the gang. We haven't heard anything about the Venezuelan gangs, all the allegations, and we don't know what's going on, bro. Come on, man. Like, why would you get on TV and say that? You know exactly what's going on here. It's not rocket science. Like, me saying it is not some kind of big revelation. Oh, you're just a big brain genius, ABL. Nah, this is basic stuff. If I go to the scene, right, and I'm seeing shell casings, I'm seeing bullet holes. Hey, there was a shootout here. I won't get on TV and say, well, they ain't tell us it was a shootout, so I don't know. You got bullet holes and shell casings, and you might got a weapon right on the ground that still got smoke coming from it. It was a shootout. People are shot on the ground, bleeding out. It was a shootout.
Nope, not yet. But that's something they are going to potentially touch on when we talk to them here in just a few hours. Because I did specifically ask, I said, is this in any sort of relation to the alleged Venezuelan gangs?
Right.
And they say we cannot confirm or deny that at this point. So definitely something I think a lot of people will be interested to hear about.
Yeah, definitely. And of course, something that we'll continue to track. We'll continue.
Okay, so that's that. Now, what's the station right here? This station is Fox 31 Denver, local news station, Denver, Colorado. Fox 31 Denver. That's the station. With the most ridiculous white liberal male reporter I've ever seen in my life. Oh, we don't know if it's the TDA gang or not. I mean, they didn't tell us anything. Sir, come on. Like, why do that? I don't understand that. I don't know the science behind that. It's really weird. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right. So then, Madison, Wisconsin, we got the Christian school shooter. Okay. And this is the individual right here, they say. All right. That's the individual right there. Young lady, but we got some androgyny type thing going on. Okay. And then we got some unhinged writings. I ain't gonna read the whole thing here. Women are the only hope for this wretched world, but even women have been brainwashed by moids. I don't know what that means. Hopefully I ain't saying nothing wrong. Did Gen Z speak yet? Y'all got all kind of new words I don't know yet. I got to relearn the English language, right? Anyway, but even women have been brainwashed by moids for too long. They've internalized the patriarchy and turn on each other, always begging for male approval and validation. It's disgusting. I realize the truth, men are irredeemable. Radical feminists. Funny mustache guy is effing vindicated now. They can't be reformed or redeemed. They're a effing scourge upon the earth. The only solution is to total exterminate them and every void who worships these effing parasites. Okay. Every single male must be wiped out from babies to elderly. So we're just straight up male hating, male bashing. Now, obviously, this person, if they wrote that and if they did this, which looks like they did, then whatever they do, whatever they put out there, it's their responsibility ultimately. But let me ask you a question. Where would this information come from about the patriarchy and irredeemable and hating men, misandry? Where does the misandry come from? The hatred of men. Where does that come from? I don't know. K through 12, television, movies, music, everything tells her to hate men, tells her to hate herself. Okay, you see what we got going on? So I partially blame the media, television, just the entertainment industry for this. That's what I blame, in part. But ultimately, she did what she did. Now, here are the police in Madison, Wisconsin, being asked questions initially about the whole situation, and let's see what they say.
And what their motivations were, or have you made contact with their family members? Anything updated on that?
Sure.
So the question was, have you talked to the family? Any update on that?
There's nothing new that I can tell you about the shooter at this time. Again, as difficult as today is, that's still someone's child that's gone. That's still someone that has to deal with what happened today. And so we want to make sure that we can ensure as much cooperation as we can.
So the shooter is dead. She dead. Look, I have no sympathy for taking, if you take an innocent person's life, I have zero sympathy for you. Wherever you are is wherever you are. If you went down to the land down under, and I ain't talking about Australia, if you in the real hot place, I ain't talking about Australia, then you earned it. You deserved it. When you go out and you take innocent life, I have no sympathy for you at all. None whatsoever. You earned your trip to that place. All right. Now, we got Trump, the orange man, back in business. He did like a little press conference type situation and was answering a few questions. All right. And I miss these Q&A segments a lot. Trump always did well. Joe Biden would never come out and do anything. Kamala can't put two words together, let alone answer a question. Okay. So let's go and see what Trump was talking about here.
Against Iran's nuclear facilities?
Well, I can't tell you that. I mean, it's a wonderful question, but how can am I going to do preemptive strikes? Why would I say that? Can you imagine if I said yes or no? You'd say, that was strange that he answered that way. Am I going to do preemptive strikes on Iran? Is that a serious question? How could I answer a question like that? Say it.
Would you be in support of Israeli strikes on Iran?
How could I tell you?
Against Iran's.
So this guy was asking if they're going to do preemptive strikes on Iran. Why would you answer that question at all, one way or the other, on television? Why would you do that? Now, here is Trump talking about the whole UFO drone kerfuffle over New Jersey and the whole of the United States. And I got to ask a question before we even play this video. Have you guys seen the drones where you live? Do you live in Jersey? You live somewhere else? Have you seen the drones? Look, okay, before we get to this, I got a little story. So let me start from the top. So I got my little F-450, right? And I'm driving one day, and I always drive on narrow roads. You wondering, truck talk, how's it going to go back to Trump? Hear me out. So I'm driving my truck on a narrow road as normal, and all of a sudden, my window is my passenger side mirror gets hit. So I got my turn signal on the actual mirror dangling. I don't know what hit it. I don't think it was a mailbox. It could have been a mailbox, but I don't think so. I think it just might have been a tree branch that was too low, because I've driven that way a million times before. I never hit anything on the side of the road. But regardless, my passenger side mirror is hit. So I order a replacement. Now I'm outside replacing my mirror at night. It's like 6, 7 p.m. So I'm outside doing that. I look up in the sky, I see a plane. Well, it appeared to be a plane, and I'm seeing it has the lights on it. So I'm thinking, okay, there is an airport nearby, and I always hear flights. It's a small local airport, like a regional airport. I always hear flights taking off, but as I'm watching this, I think I saw a payload drop. I don't know. I don't know if I did or not, but I'm observing it like, okay, it's probably a regular plane. Then I see a payload come out. Was that a drone? I don't know. I don't know. But what I do know is that the drones are spreading. It's not just in New Jersey. It's all over the USA. So I don't think it was a drone or a UFO, but I saw something a little bit suspicious. It was like, what's that came out from the plane? It was something coming out from the plane. So I don't know. And it was a little bit too high in the sky to be delivering something. Because if it's going to deliver something like a drone, like a Walmart drone, it'll probably be 100 foot above your house or a little bit lower, 50 foot above your house. It'd be like, you could see it clearly if it's going to be delivering something. But it was high. It was, 1,000 foot, it was high in the sky, like it was taking off, like a regular plane. So I don't know what that was. But anyway, was a payload hit my mirror? Yeah, it was a payload hit my mirror. That's what it was. All right, but let's watch this. Here's Trump speaking about the whole kerfuffle with the UFOs, drones, airplanes, whatever they want to say they are, this hour.
Good to see you.
Let's get some sound here. I'll start from the top.
Good to see you.
Can you comment on the drones that are flying around New Jersey and ports? It seems like the American people have a big disconnect.
The government knows what is happening. Look, our military knows where they took off from. If it's a garage, they can go right into that garage. They know where it came from and where it went. And for some reason, they don't want to comment. And I think they'd be better off saying what it is. Our military knows and our president knows. And for some reason, they want to keep people in suspense. I can't imagine it's the enemy, because if it was the enemy, they'd blast it out. Even if they were late, they'd blast it. Something strange is going on. For some reason, they don't want to tell the people, and they should, because the people are really, they happen to be over Bedminster.
You
want to know the
truth.
They're very close to Bedminster. I think maybe I won't spend the weekend in Bedminster. I've decided to cancel my trip.
Have you received an intelligence briefing on the drones?
I don't want to comment on that.
Have you been?
Do you have any reason to think they're?
All right, so what do y'all think? You think it's the government? I think it's a government. I think it's a U.S. government doing something, looking for something, sniffing out weapons, dirty bombs, something like this. A little bit of pre-inauguration security. I think that's what's happening here. All right. Now, of course, I could be wrong. That's just my humble opinion. All right. Now, let's talk about the vax and RFK Jr., everybody else. And I think the question here was, is there a connection, in your opinion, between vaccines and autism? And what do y'all think? Do you think vaccines are linked to autism? Do they cause autism? Let's watch.
Between vaccines and autism? Do you believe there's a link?
Well, I don't look. Right now, you have some very brilliant people looking at it. I had dinner the other night with the head of Pfizer, the head of Eli Lilly, and RFK, as you know, and Oz. And we had, and other people within the administration that are involved, the medical. And we're looking to find out, if you look at autism, so 30 years ago we had, I've heard numbers of like 1 in 200,000, 1 in 100,000. And now I'm hearing numbers of 1 in 100. So something's wrong. There's something wrong. And we're going to find out about it.
What about the president?
Yeah, something is wrong. I mean, people could say, oh, well, is that the vaccines? That's a conspiracy theory. Okay, you could say that, and that's fine. But clearly, there's something going on, and I think that we deserve to know what's happening. We deserve to figure out what's going on. I think if it ain't the vaccines, it's the food. All right, let's go to RFK. Well, his comments about RFK at that same place.
Robert Kennedy, he's on the Hill today. He's meeting with senators. What do you say to people who are worried that his views on vaccines will translate into policies that will make their kids less safe?
No, I think he's going to be much less radical than you would think. I think he's got a very open mind, or I wouldn't have put him there. He's going to be very much less radical. But there are problems. I mean, we don't do as well as a lot of other nations, and those nations use nothing. And we're going to find out what those problems are. And another thing that came up, the dinner was fascinating because I had Bobby and I had, again, the head of Pfizer. You know who that is. He's a highly respected man who has run an incredible company. Likewise with Lilly, the top two people. And we had the head of the industry also. So all companies were represented. And I said, let's have it out now a little bit. And you know what came out of that meeting is that we're paying far too much because we're paying much more than other countries. And we have laws that make it impossible to reduce. And we have a thing called the middleman. You know the middleman, right? The horrible middleman that makes more money, frankly, than the drug companies, and they don't do anything except they're a middleman. We're going to knock out the middleman. I'm going to be very unpooppular after that statement.
Mr. President,
I don't know who these middlemen are, but they are rich as hell. And we're going to knock out the middlemen. We're going to get drug costs down at levels that nobody has ever seen before. And that really, I tell you, we spent more time talking about that with Bobby and with the executives and Oz, all of them. We spent more time talking about that than anything else.
Right on. Okay, I got one more from this.
Thanks, President Trump. What about the polio vaccine?
Well, I'm a big believer in it, and I think everything should be looked at, but I'm a big believer in the polio vaccine.
Thanks, President Trump.
All righty, so there we go. I mean, people talking about, one thing I've seen floating around is, oh, well, when Trump comes in, they're going to outlaw vaccines. It's like, where are y'all getting this information? Who said anything about outlawing vaccines? The main thing would be about making whatever you put in your body safer. And if we could do things legally to make that happen, then let's do it. If a vaccine is highly dangerous, unsafe, and does more harm than good, then maybe we should ban that. And or maybe you shouldn't take it. If this vaccine is known to cause serious problems that's worse than what they're supposed to actually prevent, then why would you want to take that? To me, it doesn't make any sense. But if it's available and it's legal, then go ahead. But you should at least know what it does to your body, potentially. Now, here was the craziest one. Wait a minute. What's the lady's name? The Clarissa Ward, I think that's her name. Clarissa Ward, the CNN journalist. Clarissa, you ought to be ashamed of yourself for doing this. This lady put on one of the craziest hoaxes I've ever seen in my life. And she did it a couple times, actually. It wasn't even just once. Hold on. Let me find what I'm looking for here. So she didn't do it once. She did it twice. There we go. Here's what I wanted right here. All right. So this is her covering the Gaza-Israel conflict. When was this? This is 2023 in October.
Clarissa is on the ground right now. Clarissa, tell us what's happening.
stand by.
Hi, John. So forgive me, I have a slightly unelegant position, but we have just had a massive barrage of rockets coming in here, not too far from us. So we have had to take shelter here by the roadside. We're just about 5 minutes away. Gaza is in that direction. We can hear now a lot of jets in the sky. We could also hear the Iron Dome intercepting a number of those rockets as they were whizzing overhead and making impact in that direction, not too far from here. We came to this location because this was ground zero for this entire operation of carnage. Hamas militants came on a pickup truck. This was the first place where they breached that border wall, and they basically drove down this strip, just spraying lead wherever they went. We saw, in fact, I was just grabbing it before that happened and we had to hit the deck, but heavy weaponry being used. It's saying we can get up now. Where are we moving to? Sorry, just 1 second, guys. Okay.
Let's come up and go this way and then.
All right, so now I can show you the scene here. This is where those militants first came, opening up fire on all these vehicles. There's a baby carriage down there, turned over on its side. You can see over there, Clayton, if you just show in the distance there, some kind of strikes, looks like in Gaza as well. Return fire. Or is that the smoke from the rocket launches? Forgive me. It's a little difficult after being crouched in a ditch to know exactly what's been going on.
All right, so there we get that's a little bit of her work from, again, that's 2023, last year, October. That's a little bit of her work right there. Clarissa Ward, CNN journalist. Fantastic. Now we're going to go into Syria. That was Gaza, all this and that. Okay. Let's watch this here. Now, context. there were some guards at an old jail in Syria. One of the guards says, hey, I'm going to shoot the lock off of this door. They go to this old abandoned jail. It's only one lock on one door with one guy inside. They shoot the lock, but they do it off camera. They come in here and they see some sheets on the ground. Oh, is anybody under those neatly placed sheets in this beautifully clean cell? Is anybody there under the sheets? Okay, let's see who it is.
Yeah. Oh.
I'm a civilian, he says. I'm a civilian.
It's okay. It's okay.
He tells the fighter he's from the city of Homs and has been
There's our friend Clarissa right there.
in the cell for 3 months.
So this guy, hold on. I kind of talked over that. Let me let them talk and see what they're going to say about this guy. How long he's been there?
He tells the fighter he's from the city of Homs and has been in the cell for 3 months.
So he's from Homs and he's been in that cell for 3 months. But we're going to see this guy, and you guys let me know, as you did in the video that I showed earlier in the week. Let me know if he looks like he's been in that cell for 3 months.
Okay, you're okay. You're okay. You're okay.
Now, that coat right there looks brand new, like he just bought that today. Here's what I think. Just my opinion, just ABL talking at you. There was a deposit made. Somebody got paid some money somewhere to do something. He gets a check. He goes right to the mall in Damascus or wherever, right to the mall immediately. Brand new coat, a little beard trim, all of that. Hey, you know what? I got to look nice on TV. My grandma going to see me. My wife and kids going to see me. I got to get some brand new drip, right? Brand new camel colored coat. That's what I'm going to do right now.
You're okay. Clutches.
Hey, is that where you went? NERN, Tractor Supply? Yeah, Tractor Supply, get a brand new coat for the cameras.
My arm tightly with both hands. Okay. Does anyone have any water? Water. My. Okay, it's water. It's water.
Now look, first of all, we looking dead in the camera while drinking the water. Second of all, Syria. Let's talk about Syria for a minute, geographically. Y'all know where Syria is, right? We're talking about a desert with no water. A desert with no water. If you're in a cell in Syria with no water, first of all, you ain't gonna live. You can eat. You can go without food for about, 18, 20 days without really having serious problems. No water for 3 days, you about to die. You're not going to make it. This guy is not very thirsty. He took a few sips of that water and gave it back to her. I'm good.
Okay. Okay, you're okay. You're okay.
Man, look. If you really been in that cell in Syria for 3 months, you would inhale that water immediately, instantly. All the water would have been gone in 2 seconds.
You're okay. We start to walk him outside. Thank God you are safe. Don't be afraid, the fighter says. You are free. This is the third prison they brought.
PayPal, more monies. Where do I get the rest of my deposit? PayPal? Okay, PayPal. Rest of my monies. I want more coats. White liberal lady. Please. The water. I don't need the water. I want more money. PayPal. Zelle, Venmo.
Brought me to, he says, the third prison. After 3 months in a windowless cell, he can finally see the sky. My God, the light, he says. Oh God, there is light. My God, there is light.
Bro.
My God, there is light.
Kissing her all in the armpit, man. Clarissa, for real, is what you're going to do? You're going to present this fake nonsense to us? You're going to present this to us for real? And I got to believe it? Okay, you've been in the cell for 3 months, and it's perfectly clean. You got a brand new coat on. Your nails look better than mine. And now, look, I shower every day. You've been in the cell in the desert in Syria with no shower, no running water, no nothing. Not even a little hole in the ground to go doo-doo. And you look sparkling, glistening clean like that. Come on, man. Why play games like this? For what?
Okay. For what?
Okay. Now, let's go back. This guy who said he was in the cell for 3 months and he's just now seeing sunlight, which is dumb because you're looking dead at the sun and you're not squinting at all. All right. That's not what happens when you've been away from the sunlight for 3 months. But anyway, he said his name was Adele Grabal. And somebody went in the comment, somebody said, this dude said his name is Dale Gribble from King of the Hill. Hilarious. He said his name was Adele Grabal, Dale Gribble. He's a funny guy. He's a jokester, I suppose. His real name is Salama Muhammad Salama, and he was a notorious torturer under Bashar al-Assad. Hey, I want a bribe. You don't want to pay? All right, now I'm going to torture you. And he might grab you like that. This little hand grip right here, he might grab you like that to put you in a torture chair. You lucky we got cameras and security right here because you might get tortured yourself, Clarissa. But you know what? You won't get tortured because PayPal, Venmo. I want some more money. I want new coats. I want new shoes. Okay, I have to go back to my family back home. I want some more. You pay. That's why you're not getting tortured right now, Clarissa. This is crazy. And kissed her on her breast area. Man, I'm good. Listen, CNN, you guys have done some crazy things in your time. I've seen some fake stories from you guys. But that right there might have been icing on the cake. If you don't fire that lady, I don't know what you're doing. Was it Clarissa that did that, or was it y'all that sent her out there on a dummy mission? Did you guys set this up, CNN? Ridiculous. Ridiculous. My man said my name is Dale Gribble. Dale Gribble. Unreal. Shout out to Syria. And shout out to you guys for watching. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Alrighty. Now, where are we going to go? I got a few things here I could show. But where are we going to go next? Hey, they need ratings, but that acting was not very good, man. If you're going to do stuff like that, then can we please get some better actors? That's all I'm going to say. That is all that I'm going to say. All right. I got a few more here. Hold on. Henry Appel. I think his name is Henry or David. I don't know. I think I'm reading right here. It says Henry. But then I read somewhere else said David. Anyway. So Henry, David, whatever his name is, Appel, Apple. This guy is a National Security Council advisor, which means that you have the job of being in intelligence. You could be a spy, you could be a CIA, and I would suppose the rule that you have to follow is don't talk about what you do. Don't talk about classified things. Don't talk about what you do at the government, because you could talk to you don't know who you're talking to. It could be a Chinese spy. It could be Yum Yum, Fang Fang, or Dianne Feinstein's 20-year plus chauffeur or whatever he was. It could be all these people you never know. We've seen spies get exposed in the government over and over again. So if you're on a date trying to impress a young lady, and by the way, I don't know why this guy wants to impress a young lady, because he's clearly a little light in the loafers. You understand what I'm saying? He got a little bit of sugar in the tank. Ain't no gasoline. Ain't no gas in the tank. It ain't nothing but sunshines, rainbows. Okay, you're a lollipop kid. You are. What's them little dogs that got the little My Little Pony? You're that, basically. Now look, let's watch this.
Henry Appel, National Security Council. Hi, I'm James O'Keefe, investigative reporter and muckraker. This is you on hidden camera. Cool. You're lucky I'm not a Chinese spy. You are a very lucky man that I'm not a Chinese spy. But I gotta ask you a question. What the hell is the guy who's an advisor to the National Security Council doing? Spilling the, quote, tea to an undercover journalist.
Well, here's the tea. Joe Biden is like dead. We're trauma funded.
What type of national security operation you boys running in the United States government? And you used to be a spy.
For a while, I thought I was going to be a spy.
You thought what?
I thought I was going to be a spy. And I did that for a little while.
What type of spy are you? So, where are you going? So we're here in Washington with the spy who works for the United States government, who's, quote, spilling the tea. Now, this is you talking about Biden being, quote, dead.
Joe Biden is like dead. He can't just say a sentence.
These are your words. I'm going to play them for you here.
Joe Biden is
he's like dead. You also tell an anecdote where you're on the phone with the president. He didn't even know that the guy that he was asking for was right next to him.
My boss was on an international trip with him, like in Europe or something. The phone rang in the office, and I picked it up. And I was like, "Oh, Mr. President, Henry." He was like, "You stayed there." He's like, "No, he's traveling with you. He's on the same trip that you are."
And you work for the National Security Council as an advisor, and you're saying all these things to a rando. What if that random person was a Chinese spy? Is that what they teach you in intel school?
Exactly. That's the whole thing about it. Now, a little bit of context here. O'Keefe is wearing a tuxedo because he was at a gala. The New York Young Republicans. Yeah, so this is in New York. I thought it was in D.C. This is in New York. He was at a gala for Young Republicans in New York City, and then he paused from the dinner and went to go do the confrontation of this guy, Henry Apple, or Pell, and then he went right back to the gala with his tuxedo on. Now, here's something about it. There's a lot I wanted to say here. This lingo they're using, or that Henry was using, spilling the tea, all that kind of stuff, that comes from the LGBT culture. He was on a date with a young lady. Okay, the young lady obviously was an operative, but you women, please notice some of the signs. If the guy you're on a date with talking about spilling the tea and no shade, that's gay terms, 100% gay terms. I got taught the whole no shade thing from my cross-dressing uncle. Real story, true story. Back in the day when I was a little kid. What he told me was the term no shade comes from when they can get their beard really close shaved to where there's no 5 o'clock shadow, no shadow at all, no shade on the beard. So when you guys talk about no shade, understand where that comes from. Tea, shade, all of that, that's gay, streetwalker type of lingo. So don't use that kind of stuff. And if a guy uses that, you might want to be a little bit of suspect, especially like New York and DC. Listen, in New York City, when they had the monkeypox vaccination, and it was determined that this was an STD that was spread among gay males, they had a vaccine drive in New York City. It wasn't nothing but a bunch of 35-year-old-ish gay males circling the block, circling the block. That guy right there, I'm sure, got the monkeypox vaccination. I'm 1,000% sure of it. 1,000%. So I don't know why he was on a date with a woman. It's like, you really want a strong young man, sir. Talking about something spilling the tea and all this and that. But anyway, the guy was spilling his guts. Now, you're supposed to be in security. If we cannot trust our security people to keep things under wraps, then how are we going to trust the security of our nation? I understand he might have been trying to pick the girl up for some reason, although he's gay. He might have been trying to do that, but that's how they get you. That's how Eric Swalwell got by Yum Yum. He thought, okay, she likes me and she's going to be there for me. You got a whole spy, sir. You are trying to be in government, or you're in government. You have connections. You are somebody. You can't just operate as a normally will operate, especially not in intelligence. Now, the guy's boss that he referred to that was on a trip with Biden is Jake Sullivan. the National Security Council chair, I believe. Let me make sure I'm saying the right thing. What's his title? So he is the National Security Advisor of the USA. That is Mr. Spelling the T's boss. All right. That's the guy's boss right there. And the guy's boss is telling him about things that Joe Biden is doing, not even knowing that he was on the trip with him having to call somebody. All of that he said on the camera, we already pretty much knew. But again, the craziest thing is that you got caught on camera, and you're supposed to be the guy that would catch somebody on camera. You're supposed to be the guy that would gather intelligence, but we are gathering intel on you. So yeah, shout out to our intelligence apparatus. They're not very intelligent. The same ones, the same kind of people that would say the Hunter Biden laptop was fake. The same people. What are y'all really doing? I can't tell. I cannot tell. Now, shout out to the flat earthers. Hey, you know what? I knew when I put this video out there, I was going to get a reaction. It was going to be a big discussion. I got called a globe-tard. I sure did. Because how dare I say that the earth is a spherical object? It is round. It is not flat. How dare I say that? Globe-tard. You're dumb. I'm going to unsubscribe. I thought you were better than this. But I knew that would happen. Now, this guy, Jaron Campanella of the YouTube channel Jeranism, went to Antarctica on a trip that cost $35,000. And his objective was to see the 24-hour sun not really be there. Oh, that's not really a real thing because the earth is flat. So we're not going to have the 24-hour sun. Well, when he went to Antarctica, he was able to observe the sun go in a circle. It's not going to set because it can't set because you're at the you're at the south of the globe. Same thing for the north of the globe. Hey, when you get down south, it's going to be very cold at that pole. The north, same thing. And everybody knows it. It's not really your thing. It's going to get cold and you're going to have them long days, long nights, or whatever. All right. And the funniest part is those who say the earth is flat. I'm like, okay, where's the edge of the earth? You have 10,000 magic school buses, no Miss Frizzle, in the sky over New Jersey, in the sky over Maryland, Pennsylvania, whatever, all over the whole USA. We got magic school buses, Chevy Tahoes, Lincoln Navigators with flashing lights, zero, all that above the sky. But we can't look at the ice wall. Okay, does it exist? Why can't we go to it? Now, here is his revelation that the earth is indeed not flat. Or he might just say, well, I don't know how to explain this. Check it out.
Now turn it over to the flat earthers. Who would like to go first? So obviously you all know Jaron Campanella of Jeranism, one of the most popular flat earth YouTube channels.
Not for long. All right, guys. Sometimes you are wrong in life. And I thought that there was no 24-hour sun. In fact, I was pretty sure of it. But I respect Will Duffy for being a stand-up guy, at least in the way that he kept saying it was true. I kept saying it wasn't. He said, do you want to go? I'll take you. And he brought me here. And it's a fact. The sun does circle you in the south. So what does that mean? You guys are going to have to figure that out yourself. Don't listen to my beliefs or my opinion. It shouldn't matter to you. But at least you should be able to accept that the sun does exactly what these guys said as far as circles the southern continent. So that's about it. I realize that I'll be called a shill for just saying that. And you know what? If you're a shill for being honest, so be it. I honestly believe there was no 24-hour sun. I honestly now believe there is. That's it. If you want to call me a shill, so be it. I'll live to see another day, and at least I know that I got to see it. And I just want to say thanks to Will. Through everything, you've been at least kind to me, and I appreciate that. I appreciate the trip. If you guys want to, my whole master plan worked for getting a free trip out here, and to, but no, it's amazing. I can't even tell you. Flying in was the best thing I've ever seen. So, looking around, best thing I've ever seen. So, how could I give him a hard time for bringing me down here? $35,000 trip. It's been incredible. It will continue to be incredible. We've got some tracking mounts swinging around, seeing the sun. What does it mean? You have to figure it out. To me, it means that the AE map no longer works, but that doesn't mean that I'm right. It means that it could work. You'll have to figure out how, because I've tried and I struggle with it.
So basically, you get the idea of what's going on. This guy is a flat earther, has a whole YouTube channel called Jeranism, Jeranism, Jeranism. His name is, what's his name again? I forget. Hold on. I think it's right here. Jeran Campanella, Jeran Campanella. So you can check him out on YouTube. I don't know. You might want to follow up and see if he's been able to explain the sun, the way it behaves on the southern part of our globe, of our earth. But I think everybody pretty much knows that the earth is indeed spherical, a spherical object. It's not a perfect circle, obviously, but it is spherical. It's a rock that's spinning and it creates a circle. That's just what it is. And something else. Now, I'm not totally just a normie when it comes to the earth. I have a theory about the earth, the expanding earth. I've said it before on this channel. I think the earth expands from the core. And I think that we can see it with the rifts, the cracks in the earth. That's where it expands. New earth comes from the cracks basically in the earth, the rifts. And when you get earthquakes and whatnot, that's more expansion happening, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. So in previous times, the earth was smaller. Therefore, the continents were closer. So when you're talking about being able to go from this place to that place, it was easier because it wasn't so much ocean in between. That's just my humble opinion. I don't know it to be true. I'm not going to sit here and say it is true. That's just my humble opinion. I think that the earth has grown in mass. It's expanded. That's my opinion. And I think that also explains the Great Flood, because the Great Fissure happened along the rifts. And when that happened, the water explodes. And that's why you have fossils of fish on Mount Everest, because the water got that high and it just spread all over the globe. And that's why we don't have dinosaurs anymore, except for those that could survive underwater, like crocodiles, alligators, turtles. They look kind of prehistoric, quote unquote, because when the flood happened, they were able to still be protected because their eggs were submerged. And by the time the water came back down, the eggs hatched. Now we have those animals that still exist. But the pterodactyls and dragons, they're gone because they got hit by the initial flood and they couldn't survive underwater with the egg. That's just my humble opinion. But hey, the Great Flood did happen, in my humble opinion. Some are going to say that's just a Bible tale. I believe in that from the Bible. I believe in quite a bit of the Bible. I just don't believe in the way that man has structured religion. But that's a different story, and I promise I digress. If you like what you're hearing so far, if you enjoyed the show tonight, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All righty. And we got some calls to get to and super chats. Hold on. I'm reading some of the comments right here. Brian, let me see if I can find that one, because I did want to see that. Brian Harano says, you are correct, ABL. Scientists claim that this earth expanding as well, but from material building up from asteroid impact. So that makes sense as well. It does make sense for sure. Somebody says, if the world was a round plane, a plane would fly in a constant rate of descent, or it would fly off into space. A certain thing called gravity, though. A certain thing called gravity. So that's not really how that works. Like, how would that really fly off into space? Like, you got propulsion. The only reason why a plane is able to be in the sky is because of the propulsion, and also because of the structure of the plane. It can glide. So you go very fast on the ground, you take off, and you're in the air. Now you got propulsion from your engines, and you also have the drag from the wind. Okay, so if the plane loses power at a certain point, it's able to kind of glide because of the way that it's, wind is very powerful, but that's a different story. Buoyancy, gravity, all of that good stuff. Hey, extra ill. They gonna call tonight. The flat earthers, they call me a globetar. They gonna call, and they gonna cuss me out, and that's fine. Hey, I'm ready for the smoke. I am ready for all the smoke tonight. So it's okie dokie. Don't even worry about it. All righty, let's go ahead and go to some super chats. Then we're gonna get to the calls. Okay, all right, I think we good. Let's go here. It was kind of blocking me from moving over here. All right, where we at? Thank you to Apple Blocker All Puff Daddy, who says Justin Trudeau lectures USA for electing Trump over a woman. 1 week later, Trudeau fires woman from being the finance minister. Justin Trudeau is a misogynist. There we go. Apple also says, ABL, are you optimistic that President Trump will get his cabinet picks and be able to govern with his agenda? Rhinos are traitors. Democrats are laying legal traps. I think everything will be all right, ultimately. It'll be drama, as there always is, but I think it'll be okay because let's not forget, we got the House, the Senate, and the White House. Am I correct? House, Senate, White House. Thank you to Jeff Bland for the super chat. Thank you to Apple again, who says, are you live streaming Wednesday, December 25th, 24th, Christmas Day? That's a good question. I may not on Christmas Day, but that's a good question. Thank you to Authentic Intent R52, who says Earth is flat and outer space is a hoax. 100. All righty. Call in tonight. I know that'd be a great call. Apple also says favorite Christmas movie, ABL, Home Alone, Scrooge. First of all, Die Hard is a Christmas movie. It is what it is. But aside from Die Hard, I don't really know. That's a good question. There's so many movies. I can't really think of them all right now. Home Alone's a good one. The first Home Alone, that's second. The second one, I think it was 3 Home Alones. The third one, it was a new boy. It's like, who is this dude right here? This ain't Macaulay Culkin. Like, I don't want this. But Home Alone's a good one. But there's more I can't think of right now. I've not watched any in a while. But Home Alone, Die Hard, y'all let me know some more. Thank you to Jeff Bland, who says, thank you all. Stay strong from Australia. My president, Mr. Donald Trump. Right on. Shout out to you coming from the land down under. Coming from Oz. Thank you to Bobby Jenkins, who says, ABL is my brother. We from another mother. Right on. All right. Now, are you playing or are you just, are you being serious? Because, hey, Dad was out there. I got a sister I just discovered recently in the past few years. So, hey, you could be my brother for real. Don't play around like that. But anyway, shout out to you. Thank you to Jeff Bland, who says, my poem for you, your color does not matter, nor does the way you pray. I'm a human just like you. I live life day to day. God bless you all. All righty. Thank you to Caius Posthumous, who says, Merry Christmas, ABL. Happy New Year to you. Thank you for that. Thank you to Caius Posthumous again, who says, what say you about new scum promising to sue Trump? Hey, man, everybody do that. Everybody want to sue. Good luck. I mean, really, if I was thinking about suing Donald Trump, I got to see his track record. He beats all the cases that get put in front of him. So really, I don't see why he would do that. It's like a waste of money and time. If the federales can't get him, these DAs and ambitious prosecutors trying to career build can't get him, how are you going to get him? You're not. It's a frivolous lawsuit at best coming from New Scum. Thank you to Hail Mary, who says, can you please explain the context in which I exist? I'm not clear on this. Hey, you know what? I don't got nothing for you. You might want to ask Comrade Kamala, as she may want to be referred to. Thank you to Papanaya Shelley, who says, off topic, prayer emoji hands. Joe Biden handing out hundreds of thousands of work visas for illegals before he goes. Devastating for truckers. Hope Trump is aware. I've not heard about that, but hopefully we do something about that. Thank you to Michael Critchlow, who says, shout out to Newport News, native Michael Vick for becoming Norfolk State's new head football coach. Right on. Behold the green and gold, Norfolk State. You know what? I almost went there, actually. Norfolk State. I almost went there. So after TCC, I was trying to figure out what am I going to do next. Is it going to Norfolk State? I wanted to go there because it's a black college and I love the women in the college. I'm 21 years old, so I'm 100% girl crazy. All I see is the girls. I used to go to Norfolk State for the parties. without actually being at the college. So that was my focus a little bit. I was going to be on task, getting my work done, but that was part of it. That wasn't like that. That wasn't. I definitely saw that on campus, right? But I tried to go there. It just didn't work out. The guy that was in charge of admitting me always had problems. I'm going there. One day, he don't show up. His car broke down. Other day, he just ghost me, didn't show up. It was always a problem with the guy showing up that I had to talk to get into the actual program. So I said, you know what? Forget it. The time's wasting. I got to make a move right now. So I just stopped trying that, and I went to ODU. But ultimately, it was still a ripoff. I should have just not gone to college after the community college because I had all I needed at that point. I did 1 year of ODU, and I was done. All I did at ODU really was meet some good people. The people I met there were more valuable to me than the education I got. I was in class being taught by the instructor, but my friend I sat next to, shout out to my homie if you're watching, he taught me more than the teacher. I would ask him certain things. Hey, how do I copy paste? How do I do that? He was more helpful than the teacher was. So, yeah, man, the education at a certain point for me, in that instance, in that context, it didn't make any sense to go to college beyond what I did. Thank you to Jim Cavett for gifting an ABL membership. Thank you to Tony Hay Munkits, who says, populace, I voted for Trump because I have common sense. Common sense party, that would be cool. And it would be nice if the rep and the Republicans and demon crap would stop categorizing people by color, one race, human race. God bless America. Right on. Thank you to Papa Nai Shelley, who says she did. We're talking about the lady in the ditch, Clarissa Ward. Thank you to Authentically Kennedy, who says last December 6th, I did a home birth and our son will not be getting any vaccines. Right on to you. Hey, hold on. Fantastic. But she continues. He hasn't even seen the pediatrician. Healthy babies don't need checkups, aka pay ups to the doctors. Right on. Now, as long as y'all doing everything right, make sure the baby's good. That's fantastic. Okay. Make sure you got a healthy baby. Everything's all right. Don't even worry about it. Tony Hay Munkit says, enjoy the show. The earth is square. I have proof. All right. So not a flat earther, not a spherical or a spheroid. We got a square earther. All righty. Shout out to Stephen Lynch, who says, thank you for what you do. Keeping on, keeping it real. Will do. Thank y'all for being here. I appreciate y'all. Let's get to the calls. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. The number is always in the description and right there. Perfect timing, 434-658-1220 in the ticker below the screen. There's the email for Skype. You could be right here, bottom left-hand corner of the screen. Don't do nothing crazy because I will call the federales on you. All right, 434-658-1220. Let me get my sound together and we can be rocking and rolling. Y'all hang tight 1 second. And set it right there, right there. Perfect. Off to the races. Let's go. 480. You're online. Who am I speaking to?
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, I have a question for ABL.
Well, you're speaking to me right now. What's going on, boss?
Oh, here we go. Yeah. So what do you think about the preemptive pardons of Joe Biden? Like, what's going on with that? Like, is that constitutional? Like, what's going on?
So is he doing that or is that a rumor?
All the preemptive, well, I've been hearing it over and over.
Well, I mean, if he's doing that, I'm not really sure about the legality of it. I do know that there's been quite a few pardons, more than other administrations. But as far as a preemptive, hey, I mean, he did it with Hunter, and I'm not in favor of that because in the Hunter pardon, it's all encompassing. And it's like, okay, if you didn't get caught for this crime, you're pardoned for this crime. It's like, okay, so I don't see how that's legal. But hey, you know, they do anything they want to in this administration, apparently.
Absolutely. It definitely seems that way.
Right on.
But, so, okay, so why is that even an issue about people even talking about, like, why is it like they brought up, like, hey, why is there the potential for preemptive pardons for these people who have been or will be charged with this new administration, you know?
Are you asking me why they're doing it or why they're able to do it?
Able to do it.
Well, because again, I mean, this is their administration. They do pretty much whatever they want to do. So I think that's the.
You're correct.
Yeah, that's the long and short. I mean, look at Hunter Biden. This guy smoked cracked on camera, lied on the background check to get his weapon, and then didn't go to jail. But then right after a school shooting, they say, "Oh, we need more gun control." See, that's just them playing with us. They're just playing what they say in our face. You say one thing and then do something else. That's the Biden administration in a nutshell.
Right. Yeah. And I don't want to say anything too controversial, but even like they're trying to pass gun laws and take away Second Amendment rights over a 15-year-old who took a gun away from their parents to commit a heinous crime.
So they're trying to penalize the parents for the kid stealing a gun?
Yeah, well, no. I mean, Joe Biden came out like, oh, we need harsher, gun laws for law-abiding citizens.
Right.
But the person who committed the crime was 15 years old. Like, that person couldn't pass a background check.
Exactly. It's so silly.
Yeah.
But I'm not surprised because that's their knee-jerk reaction. And they know that people that support them, that want to vote for them, will accept it without asking any kind of questions. Like, hey, person is 15 years old. They cannot buy a gun legally. They don't care about making sense. All they care about is just knee-jerk reaction. Okay, mass shooting, gun control. Even if it was a stolen weapon, a prohibited possessor, they don't really care.
Regardless of the outcome, it punishes law-abiding citizens. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And then, I guess that's kind of like, the same reason why I brought it up, because like the pardons, like why is Hunter being pardoned for something he did like in 2016,
Yeah. But you know what that is. I mean, at the end of the day, if it was anybody else other than Hunter, for the most part, they would have been prosecuted. But because it's him and that's the president's boy, 55 years old, not a boy, a full-grown man with kids that's grown. Because it's him, they'll give him a pass. Anybody else, not so much.
Of course, absolutely. And then the media spins it like, oh, they're so hard on him because he is a Biden too. Like, it's such BS.
It is. It is.
Yeah. I appreciate your time. Thank you for taking my call.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate
Love
you.
your show.
Thank you.
Yeah. Take care.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Great call. And the phone lines are blowing up. Y'all please hang tight. I'll get to you as soon as I can. 404, you're on line. Who am I speaking to?
Oh my goodness, I can't believe this. This is Regina, the godmother.
All righty. What's going on?
Can you hear me?
I heard you well.
Well, thank you. I'm surprised that it's ringing. Oh my goodness. Anyway, you forgot the best Christmas movie is Trading Places with Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd.
Okay. That's a good one.
Movie?
Yeah, that's a good one.
That is the absolute best Christmas movie. And the other thing I wanted to say to you, ABL, is I appreciate you. I enjoy everything that you do. How I found you, I was recovering from breast cancer surgery. And my brother had just passed away. He lived with me and my husband. And I had his TV, which was a smart TV. I had moved it from his room into my den so that I could watch it because it was a smart TV. It was a nice TV. He had you programmed in his YouTube favorites.
Oh,
I
wow.
had no idea that my brother was so conservative. I had no idea. I started watching everything that he watched on YouTube, but you are by far my favorite, and I'm so happy that I found you.
Well, I'm glad you did, and shout out to your brother. He has very good taste in what he was watching, so shout out to him.
My brother was, at that time, he was 67 years old, and I am 63. So I love you. You've got a very good following of older conservative Black women as well.
Well, I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. It means a lot to me.
All right. You have a good night.
All right, now, same to you.
Bye-bye.
All right, yeah, shout out to her and shout out to the brother. Hey, you guys have fantastic taste in what you watch on YouTube. So you keep on watching me. I ain't going nowhere. I'm going to be right here. All right. They want me to go to the White House and get a job. I'm good. I'm here for y'all. All right, let's go. Anonymous caller, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can't hear you. Hey, Bill, this is me. I want to go back. I saw a video that you made about Katrina Brown on, I think it was, today was Wednesday. I think it was yesterday or the day before, Monday. I guess she was doing some opera or something. I don't want to talk about the opera. I want to talk about when you mentioned that.
You mean hold on. You mean Ketanji Brown Jackson?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
So you mentioned that Biden said that I'm going to hire a Black woman, and you mentioned that she's not qualified. You've been saying that repeatedly.
That's not what I said.
No, that's not what you said. So what specifically you said?
I said that he said he was going to hire a Black woman, but I did not say she was not qualified.
So what is the issue with it being a Black woman to be hired?
Because it's a DEI hire. If you're going to hire somebody, let it be the best person, regardless of what color they are, what gender they are. Hire the best person. Don't say I'm going to hire a Black woman, or I'm going to hire a white man, or I'm going to hire an Asian woman. Just hire the best person. I don't like the race-based hiring or firing.
Okay, so when Trump said that he was going to hire Amy Corbett Barrett, he was going to hire a woman, do you have any concern about her experience?
Did he say he was going to hire a woman to be that, or did he
said he was going to hire a woman. Yeah, that's what he said. I mean, I wish I could play you.
Okay.
I could play you in YouTube.
Sir. You've asked me the same question before. You asked me this last time. I remember it very well. I'm gonna answer your question, and then I'm gonna move on to something else, or I'm gonna hang up because you can't be asking me the same stuff over and over again every time you call. Now, as I said the last time, I don't remember Trump saying that, but if he did say it, then I'm against it as well. I say hire the best person regardless. So what's your next question?
Okay, so I'm just for the record. So you said,
what's your next question? What's your next question? I said, if he said that, I disagree with it, although I don't believe you. What's your next question?
Okay, I'm just wondering because
What's your next question? Look, man, look. You've already asked the same question. You're using your airtime to repeat yourself, to do a rerun. Give me a new question rather than the same one you already asked me before. So what's your next question? What is your next question, sir?
What do you say?
What is your next question?
Oh, my next question is, and then you talk about the FBI laptop that you said there was that the FBI laptop. It was some sort of misinformation. They didn't know what it was. What information on the laptop contains that would put the nation at risk?
Well, I don't know about the nation at risk. That's not even the point. The point is that the laptop was not fake, although they said it was fake. So why lie about it? So why lie about that?
They didn't say that was fake.
So what did they say?
They did not say that. They say that the information on the laptop, they have no fundamentals concerning about the case. That's what they said.
No, they said, they said it was Russian misinformation. 51 intelligence. I'll pull up the article right now while we're talking if you want me to.
But it was Russian misinformation because I have nothing to do with the contract with the company in Ukraine.
So is a laptop hunters or not?
Yeah, but you don't have
Okay,
any
then. So what are we talking
information.
about?
Listen, you-
It don't
you need to
matter. It
listen
don't matter.
first,
At the
but
end
you
of the
don't know
day,
anything.
at the end of the day, it's his. Okay, it's his. It's a president's son.
And what information?
Excuse me. 10 for the big guy. 10 for the big guy. If that was
10 for the
allowed,
big
excuse
guy.
me,
That was not
quiet,
in the
quiet, sir,
laptop.
quiet. If that was allowed to be out when it came out, which was what, October or November of 2020, right before the election, it would have impacted the election. They knew that, so then they came out there and said that it's not real, it's Russian misinformation. I got the article right here on the screen, straight from Politico.
But what the information on the laptop contains?
It don't matter. It don't matter.
Misinformation.
Look, if it was not something that could have, excuse me, quiet. I'm gonna talk. If you're talking, can nobody hear you? If it was not important, if it was not a thing that they were worried about, then why did they comment on it?
So let me help you out because you don't know what you're talking about. Let me help you out. You gonna allow me to help you or not?
I'll give you a few minutes. Go ahead. A few seconds.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So, picture of this guy smoking crack. Pictures on video, the guy screen some bra. You gonna tell me that was gonna hurt Biden's in the election?
Yes.
How?
People don't like presidents to have crack smoking, illegal gun possessing sons.
That was his son. That's nothing to do with him.
So what? So what? People don't like it. People don't like it. So what? That's why, people, excuse me, quiet. People don't like it, which is why they tried to hide it and try to suppress it, which is why if you posted it, you got your account banned on Twitter, Facebook, etc. So if it doesn't really matter that the president's son smoked crack, if it doesn't matter that he got his gun illegally, lied on the background check, and wound up getting convicted of it, if it doesn't matter, then they wouldn't have gone through all of that to keep it suppressed. It does matter. And if they didn't suppress it, it would have changed the election. And everybody knows that.
So let me get this straight before I hang up. Let me get your nonsense BS straight. So you're gonna tell me this dude smoking crack, lying on the
background check, on a background check, on a background check, on a background check, on a background check. Say it right.
Check, so people will vote for Trump instead for Biden because of that?
Yes. Or here's something else. Or there's two different things, not binary, two different things. Or if they did not vote for Trump, they wouldn't have voted for Biden. Which is why if you posted that on social media, you got your account banned. Which is why they went on TV and said, oh, it's fake. It's not real. Russian misinformation. Because they knew that laptop would damage them in the election. Very simple.
That's not what they were saying. They were saying there was information concerning about Burisma. There was nothing in the laptop connected with Burisma. That's what they were saying.
Hunter Biden's story is Russian disinfo. Hunter Biden's story is Russian disinfo. Dozens of former intel officers say. Right here in Politico. I'm reading it. I'm reading the article. Right here.
Look, let me help you out. People already made the decision for vote for Biden at that time, or people made the decision to vote for Trump. That had nothing to do. The laptop had nothing to do.
Okay, so that's why they had to hide it. That's why they had to hide it.
You're struggling too much, man. You don't.
Okay.
I ask you what is important in the laptop. Okay. You can't even tell me.
Okay. At the end of the day, I answered the question. Americans don't like that, and they would look at Biden differently. You know what? Maybe I don't want to vote for that guy. Maybe I might want to stay home. I don't like the president that's smoking crack. These emails, 10 for the big guy. I don't like that. Maybe I'm not going to vote for him. But thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate it. Have a good night. Bye-bye. All right. Shout out to him. But no, man, that laptop, you couldn't even post that. And the article is right there. I'm not making it up. 50 intelligence officers said, they signed a letter branding all these people, all these big wigs. Oh, this is misinformation. It's not real. It's fake. Come on, man. Hey, and next time, don't be doing no repeat questions. Give me a new question to answer, sir. How about that? 843, you don't lie, who am I speaking to?
A call from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
All righty, what's going on?
Man, I'm going to tell you what, I love that. I love that back and forth.
with Ivan. Everybody knows Ivan. Everybody knew that. What I just want to say first and foremost to you, I want you to have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And everybody in this chat, we got what we wanted in 2024 election. The future looks bright. Everything's going to be fine. And look, ABL, I know you get listeners, you get views. I'm gonna tell you what, man. If you made a best of what we just watched, you were killing it, man. You were absolutely killing it. If you could make that and post that just for, hey, check this out. Oh my God, people would love that. But you're good. You're amazing, and I love what you do. I just want to say one thing about this flat Earth theory, real quick, and I'm gonna let you go. And I'm gonna let other people talk. I remember when I was a child. I'm 57 years old. I grew up watching Looney Tune cartoons. You know Looney Tunes, Bugs Bunny.
Of course.
Bud, all those.
Yes.
They had this one where the king said the earth was flat, and the guy was Christopher Columbus, and he was going to sail around the world to prove it was round instead of flat. I was laughing at a child. I was watching a cartoon. I got more education off a Bugs Bunny cartoon about the whole flat earth theory than anything else. I mean, it's just common sense, man. Common sense. That's what we need in this world. And we need love. And everybody in the chat, love you guys. I love you, ABL. Keep up the good work. You're fantastic. I haven't called in a minute. Haven't gave you a shout out in a minute. I know there's other people know me in the chat. I've called out. And I just want to say, everybody say Merry Christmas this year. And everything is going to be fine. God's in control. Love you guys. Amen. Peace.
Peace. All right, great call. Shout out to the caller. Keep it rocking and rolling. All righty, Les, what's going on?
Hey, ABL. Happy Wednesday. How are you?
I'm doing well. About yourself?
Good. Thank you for asking. Have you gotten all your Christmas shopping done?
Yeah, I'm finished. Ain't gonna be no more because the traffic is off the chain. I'm not trying to do with it, so I am finished.
Oh my goodness, that's so good. I'm still missing a couple of people, so pray for me. I'm gonna try to get that done tomorrow. But thank you for taking my call first and foremost. And I want to just make a couple of comments here. And just in regards to the school shooting out there in Wisconsin, my deepest condolences and prayers goes to the families affected by the teen shooter at it was the Abundant Life Christian School, I believe that was the school.
Yes.
So, my deepest condolences. I'm praying for them, and I hope that they get through this. And I just want to go ahead and just comment on that, because in reality, we talk all the time about, well, what's the right's rhetoric and then what's the left's rhetoric, right? And to me, honestly, ABL, I don't know if you feel the same. Maybe you do. But it's obviously evident that the teen shooter was severely radicalized by the left's propaganda. Especially the one that we hear circulating, whether it's via TV, right, the fake news, or on our phones, especially on the social media platforms such as TikTok. And I'm only saying referring to TikTok more heavily just because, she was a 15-year-old teenager.
Right, absolutely.
So I'm sure she was on it, even though they claim that they can't be on it, the kids can't be on it. But, come on, ABL, we weren't born yesterday. You know how many people lie about their age just to get somewhere.
Hey, these kids are so crafty, way crafty. Like, I thought I was a crafty, smart kid. Now, these kids got me beat. So, yeah, they can find all that stuff pretty easily.
Exactly. I don't know. You had put something up on the screen. Was that her manifesto, on a social media platform, or I missed that part?
It looked like one of her postings. I'm not quite sure if it was manifesto, like laying out what she was going to do, but apparently that's something that she had posted.
So it was just something she was inspired to do. I mean, obviously it was she was just leaving, I guess you could say, footprints, right? In the sand. So it was in reality, the way I mean, I read it, right? You read it out loud partially, right? There was some things you obviously had to censor out or reword, but you hear that whole patriarchy talk, and where do you hear most? What side of the aisle in reality talks about the patriarchy? I know it's not the right. You hear that more on the left side. So, what's important, well, now that we know, obviously she did have easy access, right, to the internet. And I know for certain that she did not learn that ideology in a Christian school. Okay. At the end of the day, they're still based on not only giving you the best private education because your parents are paying for that, but also they wrap around the whole school around God. I mean, it's a Christian school. So we obviously know that, and it's just obvious that it was just the social medias, right? The Google searches, whatever she was listening to, consuming, whether it was via her ears, her eyesight, right, reading wise, that she was heavily, indoctrinated with the dark left's rhetoric. I strongly believe that, but I also want to go ahead and open parents' eyes is that this is a prime example to not allow your minors to access the smartphones. Like, I don't care what you say, ABL, when we were growing up, even me, like I'm only 32, okay? But even then, like, I didn't have my first smartphone until I was 18. I remember going to high school, I had to take the bus, I had to take the train, and I had to take a bus to and from school, okay? And I remember when I was 16 years old, I had asked my mom, like, hey, can I have a cell phone? She's like, no. And I was like, well, what about it if it's an emergency? I swear to God to you, ABL, my mom always told me, well, if it's an emergency, run to the nearest phone and call 911. So, I mean, I guess now that's the whole excuse. Well, I want to quickly get a hold of my kid in case of anything, especially during school, because of everything that's been going on with the school shootings and whatnot. It's like, okay, it's understandable, but ABO, guess what? When the little patriots went off to Utah to go spend some time over there with family, I wanted to go ahead and make sure that I was still in contact with the kids, right? Just in case of anything. You know what I did, ABL? I stepped into Target. You could also go at Walmart, Amazon. But I stepped into Target and I had told my daughter, I will get you a phone, but guess what? It's going to be that track phone, the flip phone. Flip phones still exist, ABL.
They do.
So, I mean, there's no excuse as to why your child, a minor, should have any type of access to a smartphone. Get your kids flip phones. That's the best thing that I can possibly say. And yes, our responsibility is also to preserve. I've said it so many times, preserve the innocence of our children. Yet, with the correct age at the right time, we are still supposed to tell our kids right from wrong. We have to teach our kids morals, and this is all about morals. Like that's not wrong. I mean, that's wrong, right? We're not supposed to be doing that kind of stuff. Not that you're supposed to be your kids' best friends, but you are supposed to be there as a parent and try to communicate and see where your child's at, mentally, physically, and spiritually, right? That's if you believe in God. One last thing I want to go ahead and say just before I hang up with you, ABL, is the whole Trump's and vaccines question. Trump and RFK are not against vaccines, okay? I don't know how many times we have to say this. They just want the vaccines to be safer with safer ingredients. And I want to go ahead and actually even ask you or ask anybody in the chat, ABO, that's watching, like, does anybody really in reality know what are in these vaccines?
No, people don't really know. I mean, there's a select few of us that may know, but most people have no clue. They'll say, oh, it's for this, this, and that. And you might not even know what the actual disorder or ailment or disease is, let alone what's actually in it. So, people have no idea.
Exactly. There's a lot of synthetic, things in there, chemicals in there, toxins. We have aluminum. We have barium, we have E. coli, we have aborted fetal cells, we have mercury in it. We have so many toxins that are in these vaccines that it is ridiculous. And if you even Google the side effects of aluminum in a human body, it'll tell you what the side effects are. So why are we injecting these things, and why is it okay for then the government, like for example, for the government to say, well, if your children are not vaccinated, they can't be in public school, right? You have to get an exemption of vaccines for your children to be exempt and still go to public school. I don't think that should be something that should be imposed on us. That should be up to every single parent to decide on that. Because again, if we're actually doing our research and we're diving into these things, ABL, like I said, yeah, we go to the store, right? We see a box of cereal. And I've said this last time, Captain Crunch, or what was it, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, has TSP in it. So we don't even know what's in these vaccines. I mean, it's just, again, like I said, it's a lot of toxins. And I want to go ahead and just make a quick comment, ABL, if you allow me, on polio. So it is so crazy how we hear this rhetoric that polio was eradicated because of the vaccine. That's actually false. That's false. And that's something that even in the CDC website, before they became very intertwined with the with Big Pharma, the pharmaceutical company, stated that the reason why mortality rates were decreasing was because our government, our state and federal officials were implementing sanitation regulations. We're talking about the sewage, the chlorine in the water, things of that nature. Things were becoming a little bit more clean. Now, in regards to the polio, this is the saddest, and it's the truth of history, right? But we're yet to hear and I'm sorry, from the CDC and our government officials. So the government, the CDC, were over here pushing and telling parents to spray their children down with DDT. DDT was actually causing paralysis. So instead of the CDC and Big Pharma coming out and apologizing, they were just like, oh, no, we have to steer away from, using pesticides on humans. I mean, we can do it on our crops if you want to. But yeah, we have the solution. Here's the vaccine. And that sounds very familiar, especially because we can now make the connection with what happened with COVID. COVID was a gain to function. It was created in a lab and then it was released. But oh, don't worry, we have this COVID vaccine. Again, that we know over 1,200 side effects are associated with it.
Right.
Like, come on, that's ridiculous. So yeah, if people want to actually look into it, you could even YouTube the time when the government was spraying down kids with DDT. And you will see it. We still have footage of it of back in the day. So it is wild. I think that people need to each their own, but people need to honestly do their own research and see if that's really something that they want to continue pursuing, vaccinating their children, vaccinating themselves, and if they plan to have children in the future, if they want to vaccinate their children. But thank you so much, ABL, for taking my call. Are you actually going to go live next week?
I'm not sure yet. I'll decide.
Okay, sounds great. Well, we'll be waiting. And if by any chance we cannot tune in, ABL, I want to wish you a early Merry Christmas to you and to the chat. God bless you and have a wonderful night. And the Patriots want to say good night.
Good night.
Night, y'all. Thank you for calling.
Have a good one, ABL. Bye-bye.
Alrighty. So shout out to Les. Shout out to the youngins for being there. Shout out to you guys. I'm not sure if I'll be here on Christmas Day, but to all y'all already, of course, early Merry Christmas. I know we got one more stream before Wednesday anyway, because today's Wednesday. So we got Saturday, the 21st. And I may do the 25th, maybe the 24th. We'll see how that works. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. I do like a lot of sometimes spontaneous things. So we'll see what I do. All right, let's go to 781. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, Anthony. This is Peter from Boston. How you doing?
Well, how about yourself?
I'm good. Before I want to talk to you about what I want to talk to you about, I want to rewind to Ivan here. I think it's hilarious how when the laptop thing came out, all of the liberals, the smooth brain liberals, were saying things like, it's fake, it's fake, it's fake, just believing what the media says. And then now it's been proven to be completely true. Now the narrative is, and Ivan's not the first one I've heard say this, my other smooth brain liberal family members say the same thing. Now the new narrative is, well, it wouldn't have really affected anything. I mean, let's be serious. People knew who they were voting for. It's like that's the biggest lie anyone could say. It's unbelievable how dumb some people are. And people like Ivan, no matter what, there's going to be the 10% of Americans who are they just dig their heels in the sand and will not ever allow themselves to say, you know what, maybe my perspective was wrong about this. They're just too stubborn. I don't think, he's one of them, it's just insane.
Yeah, it's really crazy. I agree with you 100%.
it's a sad thing to see, and it's infuriating to try to talk to these people because you can't get anywhere. You just want to bang your head against a wall, and it's like you just can't. You can't make it very far in these conversations with people like that. It's bananas. But I wanted to talk to you about the flooding you were talking about, the flooding and all that fancy stuff that was in the Bible that you were mentioning earlier. I big fan of Randall Carlson, Graham Hancock. I'm sure a lot of us on here know those guys. Maybe not, but they're pretty common in the sphere of Joe Rogan. I guess the story goes that, the end of the last ice age, forgive me if I'm wrong with the dates, but the last ice age, somewhere between 11,000 to 12,000 years ago. And during the ice age, of course, you got all this water that's tied up on glaciers, miles and miles thick of glaciers covering half of North America, which meant that the sea levels were much lower, which meant that during those time periods, just like today, the majority of civilizations were at the coast because that's where it made sense to live, where you can get food and whatnot. So this flooding, this big flood, the theory is that there was a massive lake on this glacial shelf that covered pretty much half of North America, and the end of the last ice age was so abrupt because of some sort of impact event from outer space, comets, meteors, that kind of stuff, that actually ruptured the glacial walls that allowed this huge lake to literally just flood out and destroyed tons. You can see what they call it, scablands. You can see it in Google Earth. Randall Carlson talks about it at great length. Same thing with Graham Hancock. But just the cataclysmic flooding that would have just washed over all of North America, like what you would see a little kid playing in the beach or something, but on the scale so massive we can't even wrap our heads around it. And that killed so many people, but the survivors that made it through that came forward and told other survivors about what had happened. And that's where you get stories. That's where you get these incredible similarities between many different cultures, because there were very few survivors of these events. Because when that happened, the sea level rose, and it also killed all the people on the coastal areas with the sea level rise that happened essentially, within weeks, that just killed millions, all the civilizations that were there. So the few survivors, tell these stories, and they are now enshrined in history. And it's a very fascinating thing. I don't know if you've ever dug into it, but it's worth looking at, man. It's super interesting. And that's what I understand about it. That's what they talk about. And I believe that the floods were real, and because that, they have a lot of evidence for it. I think it's super interesting stuff. I don't know, maybe I'm a nerd, but I dig it.
I agree with you. It makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, it sounds like if you just were to hear me, if I'm the first person you've ever heard talking about this, it might sound a little bit like hoo-ha, kind of crazy, but there's so much evidence and so many facts and things. I highly recommend just checking out Randall Carlson and Graham Hancock on the Joe Rogan podcast. Just watch any one of them, because it's sure to just make you say, hey, wait a minute, that just might be a thing. It's pretty cool stuff. It's definitely cool stuff.
Right on, man. Absolutely.
Yeah, man. Well, I'll get to some more calls. Hey, I got a question for you before. It seems like the calls are pretty popular. Have you ever thought about maybe opening up the call lines a little sooner? Like, is that something, or do you time it specifically for your own, like you got stuff going on or whatever? It seems like everybody loves to call and talk to you.
Sometimes the call volume is not high. So what'll happen is
really? Okay.
Yeah. So I think the way I have it is just right.
Okay. Yeah. Obviously you've been doing it for a while. I was just curious because sometimes it seems like, you got tons of calls and it could go on all night.
Yeah. It's like that sometimes, but it could be feast or famine when it comes to the call volume.
Interesting. All right. That's cool. It's good to know. Well, I hope that, I'm sorry for everybody who's excited for Christmas Day if you go live, but I hope you can take the time off and just relax a little bit. You bust your ass doing this stuff. We're watching you on a screen, but there's a lot that goes into making videos and stuff. So I hope you can take a day off, but, if not, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, all that good stuff. And I'll catch you on the flippity flop, man.
Thanks for the call, man. Appreciate you.
Peace.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate him. Let's go to 570. You know, line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, you got Steve's mixed bag here. Good evening, ABL. Love the show.
Thank you, man. What's going on? What's going on in your mind?
I want to get your take on, have you ever watched the Yuri Bezmenov interviews?
Oh, I've watched that. I feel like I've watched that so many times. I could recite it word for word. And I always tell people, I tell people occasionally on the live show to please watch it.
I remember as a kid, probably around 1980, 81, that was on mainstream media. They showed the Yuri Bezmenov interviews. And it's amazing how for any of the listeners that don't know, he was a defector that defected from, I believe, the Soviet Union, but he spoke about the communist plan in general to come to the United States and basically bring us down. And, you know, I guess I never really thought about it until everything that I started seeing in the last 8-9 years or so. Just a complete insanity. And that's when I remembered what I saw back then. I thought, oh, this guy's crazy, that they'll never do this to us. And then decade by decade, he laid out exactly what their plan was and what they would accomplish in each decade. And sure enough, they accomplished every single thing they said, right down to the, like a lot of the sloganing and wording and the crazy things you've seen in woke and how, you know, they would take over the universities and the youth and the media. So, yeah, I was just really interested to hear, you know, what your take is on it.
Yeah, it's definitely something that everybody should take a look at. They should watch and take what he says seriously, because a lot of what was said during that interview has already been implemented, has already happened. And you could just look at society, examine it. You could see that everything he said was right on point. That's a playbook that they use. And unfortunately, it was pretty successful in this country.
Yeah, it's just so sad. And, you know, I wonder, is there any way that some of the people out there that are just, I don't know, why do people fall for it, and then people like us that can like see right through the BS? We can see the game plan, but other people don't see that this is something that is not conducive to a successful country. I just don't understand why people don't see this. What is your take on that?
Well, people just are they're not very educated. They're not really aware of what's happening around them. They're just kind of in the fog doing their own thing.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't know. I guess that's the reason why people fall for these scams on these infomercials, and it's why people get suckered all the time. I guess some people are just predisposed to falling for BS, maybe.
Maybe so.
All right. Well, I'll let another caller get in there. I don't want to talk your ear off, and thanks for taking my call. And I'm up here in Joe Biden's land in Scranton, PA. Don't believe the hype. Nobody up here liked that guy.
Right on, man. Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Have a good evening, buddy. Bye.
Thank you. All right. Shout out to the caller. Great call. Let's go to 864 on the line. You speaking to?
Hey, this is Turk Stud still from Greenville, South Carolina. I got two things. I opened up my WhatsApp this morning, and guess who I had a message from and where it was from?
Who was that?
Nigeria. It was Mary.
Oh my! But I've had gift cards. Give me the gift cards. I will give you money back.
I thought of you when I heard that. And the second thing, people are still living in tents in Western North Carolina, and what they really need are camper little trailers. So if anybody can donate, there's a number of groups, and I know some of them you can write it off on your taxes. But that's mainly what they need up there. You know, I'm sure you know that, being from Tennessee.
Yeah, I mean, that's not too far from me. Like every time I'm driving on the interstate, it's a sign that says Interstate 40 is closed because of the hurricane. Every time right now, it's still like that.
Well, I'm in Greenville, South Carolina, so I'm not far from there either.
Okay. Yeah.
And we got hit with the hurricane, and we did not have electricity here for 10 days where I'm at.
Wow.
But yeah, I mean, it was unbelievable. But yeah, that's the only thing they really need up there, you know. But I just wanted to say that. But like usual, great show.
Well, thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Okay, we'll talk to you later. Bye.
All righty. Yeah, it's still pretty bad out there in North Carolina, Western North Carolina. All right. Shout out to you guys, though. I appreciate y'all for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff to help me out tremendously. All right, here we go. 504 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, Adilian Spaceship.
All righty, man. What's going on?
All right, so shout out to you and all the callers. Very interesting topics. And also, well, today I was going through the side of the yard and accidentally stepped on a nail, and it wasn't too fun, but I'm okay.
Yeah, hopefully everything's all right, man. Hopefully you don't got to get a tetanus shot or nothing.
Right, and I might get one. I might. But I've gotten one in the past, but I think I might get one just in case.
Okay.
Yeah. And also, yeah, so today I was watching the Diddy because we can't go in the courtroom. There's no cameras in the courtroom, but we could, see what's going on. And yeah, so basically Diddy has gotten thinner and he's being respectful. He was being respectful to the judge, but then what happened was the judge was like, all right, what's going on? And they're, reviewing his case. And, it's still ongoing. And there's no other trials going on because of the holidays. But there's going to be a new YSL trial for the other co-defendants in 2025.
I mean, the whole YSL thing was so ridiculously bungled. And people say, oh, they're obviously guilty. It's like, okay, if they're so obviously guilty, then it should have been a slam dunk case. But it wasn't because of how incompetent Fonnie Willis and her team are.
Right. Exactly. And I totally agree, and Fannie Willis is completely incompetent, and, hopefully it doesn't last the whole year, but it'll be interesting to see what goes on with that, and I was having a good time with my friends over there. And also, regarding the school shooting, which I've been studying a lot because of the trials I watch, yeah, so basically I noticed the shirt she was wearing right away, the KMFD shirt. It's a pretty cool band. It's like a hard metal band, but it's what the two Columbine shooters liked, and they both wore that shirt, so she was emulating them.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah, and I looked it up to make sure that I was right about that, and that is the case. And also, they liked the Austrian painter, Hitler. They liked him a lot, and they liked the idea of, exterminating people they didn't like. And yeah, she completely copied them because they want to cause a chain reaction of all these different shootings, unfortunately. And, the young people these days with social media and things like that, and the stuff that's going on in their heads, they're not acting with logic, but with emotion only, and being fed hate also from the left, it seems she was influenced by. They go and do these horrid actions.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. And, when you have these idle minds that kind of just get left to their own devices, you can have really, really negative things that happen.
Right. And also, one of the victims of Columbine, her name was Rachel Scott, and she had this journal of all these different inspiring quotes, and she was a Christian, and there's controversy about how she was murdered because basically the story is they're asking people if they believed in God or not, and then they would go and delete them, and they asked her that before they finished her off. Now the atheistic people think that she wasn't asked that specific question. Now no one really knows for sure, but one of the people that was kind of in a coma kind of overheard that, but they're not completely sure. But basically, she lived a very good Christian life, and her words inspired many people, and her family has this organization that helps kids from bullying, and they have also helped prevent the school shootings.
Wow, that's pretty good.
And she thought there would be a chain reaction of compassion would be what she would like to see. And I think that people need to start doing that, because what I'm seeing in the world with what Ouija did, what all these different people are doing, is just a chain reaction of destruction and revenge.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And also with Luigi, it's crazy. I see all over the internet that a lot of people support him, unfortunately.
Yeah, they do. But, again, it's these young people that don't really know anything. It's kind of like the whole Occupy Wall Street crowd, eat the rich crowd. They think that, okay, if I do something to a rich person, an executive, then I will be able to be uplifted. But like I was saying before, they don't understand history. They don't know anything. They've not been taught anything. So they don't know how the story ends.
Exactly. Because as you were saying, they were going to go they They'll become the elite, and they'll be the one that'll be envied. And then when these communistic things are tried out, the economies all went downhill, and their people were completely like, starving and stuff. So these people don't really know what they're getting themselves into.
That's right.
Also, the 2 astronauts that were in space, their trip back home has been delayed until March.
Well, they've been out there for quite a while, haven't they?
Yeah, they've been there for quite a while. They're supposed to come back in January, but it's been delayed. Hopefully it doesn't get more delayed.
Yeah, hopefully not, because I'm not sure how long they can just survive up there floating in, upper atmosphere space or whatever they want to call it.
Right. And also, I think with the vaccines, it would be good that there's, safe stuff in them. And, Trump and RFK, they weren't going to completely get rid of vaccines completely. I understand that. Just the media puts all these different narratives out to try to cause people to get rused up.
Of course.
Right. It's good with Trump. He stands his ground, and he doesn't deal with nonsense from people.
Right. Right on.
Yeah. I think it's funny with the flat earth people. They're getting all triggered at you. They're getting triggered at me, too.
It's hilarious. It really is.
Yeah. All right. Okay, ABL. That's all to say for this call. Merry Christmas.
Thank you for calling, man. Merry Christmas to you.
Okay, bye.
All righty, that will be a wrap for me. Shout out to you guys for being here. If you couldn't get on tonight, don't blame me, blame the white man, because it ain't my fault. I'll be back live on Saturday. Same bad time, same bad place, 8 p.m. Eastern time to right around right now, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Maybe I'll stream on Christmas, maybe I won't. It depends on what I do the next week. I'm still trying to make a decision, but we'll see. And shout out to you guys again for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you enjoyed tonight's show, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Also, this is an audio streaming podcast you're listening to right now. It'll be available on your favorite audio streaming platforms, whether they be Google Play, Apple iTunes, Spotify, etc. Link for that will be in the box, or just go to your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. Also, y'all please follow me on Rumble. I am over there. If you don't want to watch YouTube for whatever the reason may be, Rumble's available to you. I'm everywhere. You can find me on the TikToks. You can find me on Rumble. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, whatever. And of course, the big dog, YouTube, I'm here all the time. And Uncle ABL is coming back. I promise it is. And once it comes back, it's going to come back with a vengeance. Do I have any more super chats that I read? I think I got everything. Thank you to Tony Hay Munkits for gifting memberships. I appreciate you. I think you gifted at least 2. But yeah, shout out to Tony Hay Munkits. But shout out to you guys for watching, retweeting, super chat, and whatever you do. I could not do the show without you. Thank you to the mods for keeping the trolls in check. I appreciate you for that as well. But I think that'll be a wrap for me. Oh, and one of you guys were asking me, hey, you should do some clips from the live streams and put those up. Well, what I'm doing is I'm making short clips and maybe some long clips from the live stream. All right, that's what I'm going to do. You may have seen some of the short clips go up on Instagram and TikTok and whatnot. I think I got one on YouTube as well about Caitlin Clark. I'm going to do a lot more than that. It's already in motion. So that's happening right now. You're going to see a lot more of those short clips and also some longer clips from the live stream. All right, so that'll be a wrap for me. And until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out, and peace.